the more entertaining figures in college ball. The Gamecocks fly into the Wildcats' old Kentucky home. Kickoff coming up after we hear from Matt Weinberg.
All right, guys, thank you very much. J-Lo and Lou-Ho, we could say that. Matt Weinberg and Mark May here in our college football studios. A colossal day of games. Two major showdown games, one in progress, one already in the books. That one, of course, in South Florida, Florida State and Miami. Let's take a look. Number 12, number 1, Seminoles came to play, Mark.
They definitely did. Scotty Bowden getting them all fired up before the game.
How about Nick Maddox?
Beautiful run here. 30-yard touchdown run. Gets him on the scoreboard, 7-7.
And they would run the ball. That would be a theme for this game. 17-14 at halftime. Florida State up 20-14. Greg Jones power up the middle. Florida State up 13. Ken Dorsey then to Willis McGahee on the screen pass. McGahee all the way down to the Seminole 11-yard line where he just gets knocked out of bounds. Next play, Jason Getters steams up the middle, 11-yard touchdown. Florida State, one more chance.
For the win, the kick on the way. He missed it. Wide left.
Well, if nothing else, you know, variety is the spice of life. Not wide right this time, it's wide left. Bobby Bowden said he could not believe it. He said, we've seen this picture before. Miami hangs on 28-27, easily the biggest test they've faced so far. Florida State's not going to, or nobody else is going to play them any tougher than this, at least until Virginia Tech.
No, this is the best game that Florida State's played in 2 seasons, and Miami's worst game in 2 seasons. But when you break this game down, it comes down to coaching decisions in crucial situations, particularly in 2-minute situations. Now, at the end of this ball game, Florida State had a chance to take their team out there very cautiously, very carefully, and line up for the field goal with 21 seconds on the clock. But instead, they decided to run Greg Jones one more time. They had to down the ball with 1 second left. They had to hustle everyone out there and try to make a field goal attempt under a lot of stress. And those players went out there on time, and they weren't set. And this is a situation where it's all up to coaches. When I played in the NFL, when I played in college football, that's 17 years combined, major college football in the NFL, we practice this scenario. Every single special teams practice. You had the special teams coach with a clock out there, clocking your guys, timing your guys to get out there and kick that field goal. Florida State was not ready for the situation.
Snap was a little shaky. The hold a little cockeyed, and the kick off to the left, and Florida State is killing them. All right, we're coming up. SEC football, South Carolina, Kentucky, coming up.
Man, Zito's jersey smells rank.
Whew. You need to wash it.
Can't wash it. It's his lucky jersey.
What about the street?
Just wash it.
Steve, we have a problem.
Who started today?
MLB Authentic Collection, available at these fine retailers.
It's my mother's recipe. Oh, candles. Roscoe!
Oh!
I don't know what got into him.
You'll find any excuse to go Outback for our perfectly grilled shrimp and our tender ribs with chicken on the barbie.
He used to be so well behaved.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Well, stadium sold out, 70,000 plus here in Lexington for ESPN2 primetime college football. A matchup, very intriguing one out of the SEC East tonight with the 4-2 Gamecocks of South Carolina visiting the 4-1 Wildcats of Kentucky, the surprise team in the SEC, one of the biggest surprise teams in the country. Dave Barnett with Bill Curry, Mike Golick, Michelle Tafoya, and Bill, what Guy Morris has done in his second year with a team of mostly holdovers from a regime that led this program into probation. Nothing short of miraculous at this point. One holdover guy is glad he still has is Jared Lorenzen.
He is glad. He has done a fine job, and Jared Lorenzen, by whatever nickname and by whatever body weight, has metamorphosed into a real football player from a large oddity. The numbers that count right now are not those that you see, 13 pounds at birth, but rather 60.4% completions, 14 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, Mike. This guy's a leader, and he's up against a team with a lot of what-ifs coming into this game.
Boy, you're absolutely right, Bill. And South Carolina's 2 losses this year. You want to talk about what-ifs against Virginia in that loss. 7 turnovers, and then against Georgia, not only they give up an interception in the end zone for a touchdown against them, but fumble with 12 seconds to go on the 1-yard line going in for the win. Lou Holtz thinks he has a pretty good team here, but they have to stop the miscues, Dave, to get a W today.
And if Lou Holtz does get a W, he ties Woody Hayes, former boss, for 8th on the all-time win list at 238 in his 31st year, 4th year in Columbia. And again for Guy Morris, former TCU lineman, many good years with the Eagles and Patriots, a couple of Super Bowl trips for him in the NFL, and his second year as, so far, a very successful head coach in year 2. South Carolina won the toss. They had deferred, and Joey Bowers lines a low one, and the return for Kentucky will come from the 20. And Justin Haydock brings this one all the way across midfield. Didn't expect to get it. He took it 33 yards.
Don't you love it when a lineman gets to run with a ball? By the way, Justin.
And J-Lo, hefty lefty, Pillsbury throw boy by any name. He is the SEC's top passer and 8th in the country right now. A junior, a captain, showing more leadership, more maturity. Derek Abney is extremely dangerous, especially in the return game. Aaron Boone, likewise. Tommy Cook, also a deep threat, averaging 19 yards per catch. And oh, by the way, this is Archie Pinner, the number 2 running back in the SEC, and he starts by ripping off about 7 on first down. The offensive line for Kentucky, featuring at least one who is smaller than the man he's blocking for Lorenzo. That would be Jason Rollins, who's probably 20 pounds smaller. Huff, Seitz, Chatelaine, and Hall up front.
And on that defensive line, keep an eye on Langston Moore. Not only has he blocked a couple of field goals, but he loves playing on the opponents behind their line of scrimmage. He is a penetrator in the gaps.
Lou Holtz can't find enough good things to say about Langston Moore. First pass is a backwards pass, and Tommy Cook throwing it downfield, picked off one-handed at the 10-yard line. The interception by Dante Robinson of South Carolina as a flea flicker blows up in the face of the Wildcats.
You're going to see all kind of different formations today out of Kentucky. 4 to the left, quick pitch to ball by Cook. He hangs it up way too high in the air, giving time for Robinson to come under.
Incredible interception. And the 4th of the year for Robinson. Now leading the SEC. Corey Jenkins has been a question mark all week, limited by a high ankle sprain, but he will get to start. We'll see how limited he may be. Not only the quarterback, but the leading rusher on the year for the Gamecocks. And they'll test him right away with a quarterback keep all the way and a very short gain on first down, brought down by Otis Grigsby. Jenkins, out of Columbia, sold drinks at Williams-Brice Stadium, just a couple miles from where he grew up. 81 yards per game on the ground, 4th in total offense in the SEC. Brewer, a lot like the Kentucky counterpart, Derek Abney. Very dangerous. May see him in a tailback. Pinnock has been a disappointment. Irons just a true freshman, and they admit he really shouldn't be playing, but they have no other choice at tailback. He is growing up on the fly. Jenkins again keeping. And across the 17-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and 3. South Carolina offensive line. Travell Horton, Holt says, as consistent as an offensive lineman as he has ever had. Williams, also former All-SEC. Goddard, Hall, and Sanderson.
And directly across from that O-line, watch number 63, Dwayne Robertson. He has near-perfect defensive lineman technique. He reminds me of a young and vigorous Mike Golick.
And while they check on Vincent Burns down on the field for Kentucky, let's welcome Andy Rooney's favorite sideline reporter, Michelle Tafoya.
Yeah, this one goes right out to you, Andy. Listen, it looks beautiful here now, and it is, but about 30 minutes ago, there was a downpour here in Lexington. This field got soaked, and some very big divots came up. Now, the National Weather Service says this storm has passed, and this field drains extremely fast. The main concern for South Carolina, though, is, as you said, David, quarterback Corey Jenkins, that sprained left ankle. He did not practice on Tuesday because in Columbia, there was a deluge of rain, and they didn't want to put him out there on that slippery field. I spoke to him. He says, I feel so-so, but come game time, I'm going to play right through that pain. Training staff just a little bit concerned about Jenkins. and his ability to move out here. So we'll watch it. Keep an eye on it.
All right, Michelle, Vincent Burns trotting off. And here comes 3rd and 3. Carolina trying to move after intercepting the first pass of the evening by Kentucky. And again, Jenkins keeping all the way out of the shotgun. And we'll have a first down to the 21-yard line. Morris Lane, linebacker, along with safety Mike Williams on the stop. And the linebackers, only 2 of them for Kentucky, Lane and Ronnie Riley, a 5th-year senior captain.
You'll see 5 defensive backs. They're led by Quentis Cumby. He's the leading tackler right now. And again, when you say that about a safety, don't think because he's making all the tackles deep in their secondary. He's coming up and playing ball on the line and hits very well.
A much improved Kentucky defense. They couldn't possibly be as bad as they were last year 2 years in a row. Now Pinnett breaking free on his first carry. Andrew Pinnett at midfield. A 6-foot, 255-pound bowling ball, and 27 yards later knocked out by Quentis Cumby.
Quentis Cumby is the leading tackler. He and Mike Williams have counted on to make big hits, and they're up against this tank, and there's the miss by Williams and a miss by Cumby right here. The big guy just runs through him. Pinnock, if he's been a disappointment, is anxious to atone. It looks like he's up to the task, at least in the early going.
That's a lot of beef rolling right there.
Yes, sir.
23 career touchdowns, 1 behind Sterling Sharp on the all-time South Carolina list. They marked him out at the 49. 3 wideouts to the right side, and Jenkins to the air for the first time. And a little throw underneath caught by Michael Agees. And what do we know about Vincent Burns, Michelle?
It's better than it looked, Dave. He simply took a finger to the eye. So he got poked in the eye. He's expected to return. The training staff's looking at him, but they think his return is probable, Dave.
It should be good news for Sweet Pea. The leader in tackles behind the line of scrimmage, they'll need him. 2nd down and 9, now from midfield. Carolina won this matchup 42-6 last year. Worst loss in a forgettable year for the Wildcats, 2-9. Again, Pinnock burrowing straight upfield and reaches the 43 of Kentucky, and from there it'll be 3rd and 2.
Well, this is going to be a nice battle in the middle with Pinnock. He's not an outside rusher, that's for sure. He is not going to be trying to use his speed to get outside. So, Bill, you mentioned with Dwayne Robertson and some of the other guys on the inside as well. I mean, these guys are going to have their work cut out for them if they're to stop Pinnock in the middle.
Yes, they are, and that's a good offensive line with Williams and Hall, the guards, both all SEC for South Carolina.
Kentucky allowing just 28% 3rd down conversion. And they try a shovel pass, incomplete. Trying to get it underneath to Pinnock, but it was crowded. Cedric Williams knocked back.
And we talked about how well this defense is playing. You say 28%. Last year, they gave up 44% on first downs. Last year, they gave 60% completion by opposing quarterbacks. This year, just 46%. Just about every category. This Kentucky defense, which, you know, nobody took serious for years, all of a sudden is playing some real ball.
Yeah, 28% conversion by the opponent on 3rd down is fantastic defense. That's the way you're supposed to play.
Joey Bowers is the pooch punt specialist. And a low end-over-end job, which will take a Gamecock roll down around the 10-yard line.
And it'll probably be an illegal formation because South Carolina lined up in an unusual-looking formation, and it may be that they didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Doyle Jackson, referee.
And that is indeed the call. And they need to make them kick it again. See if they can get it down to the 10, or see if maybe you could get a little return out of it. That's what they're going to do.
Well, what they had in mind was not to blast it as far as they could anyway.
Rally for the offense. Not even have enough on the line of scrimmage. We'll replay the 4th down.
Holtz arguing that they did indeed.
You must have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. And if Lou is this hot, he knows that he did indeed have 7 because he would have stood there and counted them.
All right, Lou, not even 5 minutes into the game. Yeah, boy.
Regular punter now in, Tyler Dean. And a good year, averaging better than 44 per kick. Handles a high snap. Eric Abney will race up and stumble at the 21. Kentucky fans wanting a violation, and they do get a late flag.
That should be a personal foul. He was on the ground. There's no excuse for piling on.
Well, these are absolutely killers, these kind of penalties here.
Hart Turner nailed him on the ground. That's the call. You just have to back off. I don't think Hart meant to do that. He's going to cover the punt aggressively. Abney's such a dangerous return man. Y'all, he did mean to do it.
Yeah, yeah. It was a short punt. He was coming up for it, but Hart Turner's got to pull off of this. There's no way he needs to do that.
Laying there on the ground. That's inexcusable.
So now you're looking to pin him in to work the field position to your advantage if you're South Carolina. Now Kentucky's got the ball on the 37.
So we got a comedy of errors.
Yep.
I think the call to run the exotic play early for Kentucky was a poor offensive call. Now mistakes by South Carolina.
And 2 penalties end up costing them 27 yards. So coming back, Kentucky's J-Lo. Wildcats from their 37 when we come back to Lexington.
Behind them is a snippy maitre d' and a wilted Caesar. In front of them is a family drama playing itself out. But right now, life is perfect. Thanks to a full moon, a powerful engine, and the Autobahn-tested suspension of the Acura RL.
Forget the rules. In this game, you're the judge, jury, and execution.
What happens to the bodies?
They just disappear.
Huh. You like the shotgun?
Yeah. With that quick.
Yeah. I like the laser blaster.
Me too.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 90 health club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video and brochure and check out the entire Bowflex lineup or visit us on the web today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
Derek Tatum's got to keep loose any way he can. Nothing. Wildcats have it on their 37. And almost had it on their own 10, but back-to-back penalties against Carolina have helped the Kentucky field position. Tommy Cook goes in motion. And Lorenzen firing over the middle. Aaron Boone with the catch down to the 40 of South Carolina. 23 yards. And the rest of the Carolina defense now, their linebackers, Jermaine Lemon and Jeremiah Garrison, who continues to play for Lance Lowry, leading tackler until he had his knee scope, might be back next week. Dawson, awfully good one as well.
And in that secondary, Rashad Faison will be literally all over the field. He'll be coming off the corner. He'll be lined up at free safety and everywhere else. He's an all-SEC performer.
Abney in motion and around. And he has a burst like few we have seen this year, doesn't he?
He can run like the wind. I asked Guy Morris yesterday, is this guy as fast as I think he is? He said he is a legit under 4.4. Most of the time when you hear somebody's 4.4, they just aren't. This guy runs, and Guy, the other thing I like that Guy said, do you ever watch the Tasmanian Devil?
Here's the holding right here. They're going to call and bring that one back.
Now watch him accelerate to the corner. Unfortunately, there was a penalty. Mike showed it to you.
Chase Harp with the hold.
Chase Harp with his hands out.
Foul is holding by the offense. Penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. followed by the first down.
Now, one of the really big bugaboos for this Kentucky team is the fact they've been penalized 74.6 yards per game. That's far too much. Both teams hurt early by penalties, Dave.
Kentucky, the most penalized team in the SEC. They've had 3 games of their first 5 with 10 or more. Matt Morris working to cut that down. Big game cut back to second down and 19. Pinner working hard to get maybe 2. Let's check in with Matt Weiner.
Dave, Tennessee had trouble getting the offense going without Casey Clausen, so they resort to this. A little trickery. Derek Tinsley, halfback option to Jason Witten, cut the lead to 5, and that's where it's about to end. 18-13 Georgia.
Well, again, there was 18-0 Georgia for the longest time. 14 touchdowns, only 3 picks, and that used to be his biggest problem, throwing it ill-advisedly into coverage. He doesn't do that anymore. This time the shovel works to Pinner, but the Gamecocks are again ready for it. And bottled up again, so third and long coming.
Nice penetration by South Carolina. Jason Capers that time on the shuffle. You know there's no threat of Lorenzen keeping it. He's more apt to get down the field and block, and we'll talk about that a little later.
The big guy will run down the field.
He will.
And ear-hole somebody. And if he were my quarterback, I'd say, Jared, we know you're tough, but let's don't be silly here. A little bitty shoulder pads you got on, buddy.
But he's bigger than 90%, 95% of the people he's going to block.
Shoulder pads that are my size.
Leading 16. And Lorenzen, very tough to sack for obvious reasons. Usually takes more than one, and there are 2 involved in this one. Capers and Gauze.
George Gauze, number 99. They think he can be the follow-up to Kalimba Edwards, now playing in the National Football League. He gets held so badly here, but he still makes... Look at his jerseys coming off. He still makes the sack.
Well, here's one where, you know, Jared Lorenzen is going to stay right in there and try and make the throw. Boy, Gauze did get held. You'd like to see him trying to escape a little bit. Here's the
they're on a fake and complete from Glenn Pakalak, but they're going to come up short of the first down. Tommy Cook from Glenn Pakalak. South Carolina, though, stops them 5 yards shy of the first down marker. Matthew Thomas, in fact, coming up with a fumble.
Well, that's a tough call, looking for 20 yards. Running the fake, it's going to have to be wide open for you to get that there. Just a shot-put pass out there. Coming up very, very quickly. Ryan Brewer does a great job coming up and just staying right in front of the runner, knowing he's got a long way to go.
Not only didn't fool Brewer, but such a secure tackle that he knocked it loose.
Brewer could play anywhere. That's an offensive player we just saw.
Rotate by Jenkins. Time to heave over the middle for Brewer. Almost made a one-handed catch at the 30.
One of the major issues that's going to be a factor in this football game is the new surface. This is one of those fancy deals with the drainage system, with all the things, the bells and whistles, with the gravel underneath, and it's supposed to absorb 10 inches an hour, but it's already coming up in large chunks, and that's dangerous down there on that field when you don't have good footing.
Second down and 10. Draw, pivot. One of the real north-south runners in college football. 6 yards. Let's check in with Matt Weiner.
All right, Dave, the Red River rivalry. Sooners pulling away. Kewan Jones from 2 yards out. Oklahoma up 28-17. Meanwhile, Michigan has beaten Jopa 5 straight times. They'll have to do it overtime for a 6th. First ever OT in Ann Arbor.
Third and 4. 4 wide. Jenkins underthrowing Brewer. Had him open, had a first down if it's a foot higher.
Yeah, good play, good call. Just trying to get 5 yards for the first downs. Had Brewer on the slant. There's your most dependable receiver on the field probably today in Brewer, and just a low throw.
One thing a center can do, and a center has a responsibility in college football, is to ask for a dry ball. It looked like that was a wet ball and made it difficult to throw.
So Tyler Dean again will kick to Abney. Abney backing up inside his 15. And hit immediately, and they'll have another halo violation on this one.
And that's going to be a 15-yarder. We've talked about this a couple of times. The rule has changed. If there's no contact and you get into the halo area, it went from 5 to 10 yards this year. But if you hit him, it's 15. And, Bill, this one is 15.
Ted Crawford got it.
Yes, it is, Mike, and it's a good rule. You're so vulnerable standing back there, and for people who do not recall, last year there were a couple of incidents where the punt returner was just absolutely annihilated. Here's the signal.
Got to leave that about a 2-yard space for him to catch the ball, and you see it was close.
Crawford felt like he was 2 yards away, but he wasn't.
You really see the timing now with these gunners coming down to try and slow up and time it so they can get there and not break the halo.
7-12 at a scoreless first quarter when we come back to Commonwealth Stadium.
Behind them is a 19th century cabin with a 19th century roof. Ahead of them is a 21st century modern with a 21st century electrical system. But right now, life is perfect, thanks to a clear sky, a smooth ride, and the electronic four-wheel drive, 260 horsepower Acura MDX.
Hi, I'm Emmett.
And I'm not.
We may not look it,
but we're a lot alike.
We both like giving back to the community.
And we're both considered quite stylish.
And we both believe that phone service should be simple.
Oh, yeah, like 10-10-220.
It's cheap, whether you use it a little or a lot.
99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes.
And there are no monthly commitments.
So you only pay for the calls you make. So, what do you think of the shirt?
Too loud.
What do you think of the shirt?
Dial 10-10-220.
No one spoils me like Mom, but Olive Garden comes close with their never-ending pasta bowl. They make all these delicious homemade sauces, then you pick which ones you want with which pastas. You get all you want, plus unlimited salad and breadsticks for $7.95. Olive Garden, when you're here, your family.
Evil has returned.
Hello, Clarice.
Hannibal and Silence of the Lambs.
Good evening.
On the DVD collection today, rated R.
Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. Some breaking news out of the Southeast. At 1:11 this afternoon, Kristen Hunter and her husband Bob, that's Bill Curry's daughter, gave birth to Evelyn Jean Hunter. 8 pounds, 9 ounces. That's good size, Bill. Not quite a J-Lo type of size, but good size. And we want to congratulate Kristen and Bob and say, welcome, Evelyn Jean, and congratulations, Bill.
Thank you. Well, you surprised me. They love to do that. What a wonderful, thank you, Michelle.
Grandpa.
Thank you, everybody.
There's our cigars.
Yeah. Spinner. Breaking tackle. Up to Spinner. By himself gets 10. Wow. I tell you what, we know Pinnock could run over people, but Pinnock says, you know what, I can drop the hammer as well. And he did it on Takei Muhammad. He absolutely dropped the hammer. This is getting the extra yards right here. This is where you lower your shoulder pads right here. Oh, get out of my way.
Takei Muhammad will remember that next time number 20
he
direction.
may not remember it, Dave.
Spinner averaging 119 yards per game, number 2 in the SEC. Lorenzen throw on the run. Abney across the middle and across midfield. 18 yards.
And this is the strength of a Jared Lorenzen. George Goss put some pressure on him. Lorenzen threw back across his body and was able to stay right in here on the crossing route. It's coming back. Lorenzen's going back across his body, wide open underneath. And you'll see this out of Kentucky all day. They love running off with wider guys and coming underneath and finding all the holes either underneath the linebackers or behind them. You'll see it all day long.
Empty backfield this time. They go 5 wide. Lorenzen under center. Nice job recovering after Glenn Holt, true freshman, slipped, went back up and got his third catch of the year. Pinner averaging 119 yards per game, number 2 in the SEC. Lorenzen throw on the run. Glenn Holt, a true freshman out of Opelika, Florida. Able to get 4 out of that.
Very important for the players. Holt just slipped on this turf. They've got to keep the weight over the balls of their feet. If you try to make a sharp cut with your foot extended out and your weight's not over it, you'll fall.
Time out of the offset eye. And Pinner is a nice hole. Pinner hurtling inside the 30. 15 yards.
And understand, gang, this is not your father's Kentucky anymore. They can run the ball. They're averaging $1.75 a game, and a lot has to do with Mr. Pinner. But this had a lot to do with the offensive line. He does not get touched until he gets through to the second level.
Cam Pay, the fullback, just drilled his man, knocked him out of the picture. Gaping hole.
That one you praise the O-line for that one, and the fullback.
Pinner averaging 8 per carry, 4 for 32. And at 5:37 of the first quarter, we're scoreless. South Carolina and Kentucky off to its best start since they won their first 5 in 1984. That year they finished 9-3, won the Hall of Fame Bowl. They can't go to a bowl this year. They can't go to the SEC championship, but they still have some goals in front of them. They want to make sure that the team that does represent the SEC East is the second best out of the division. And they almost pulled what would have been the upset of the year in the SEC had they held on to a late lead at the Swamp, fighting from way behind early, 19-0 down at the half at Florida. And finally led 28-25, lost 41-34, their only defeat. Motion out of the backfield, Alexi Bagingi. And they blitz and drop Lorenzen, and Jeremiah Garrison got him one-on-one. That won't happen very often. Let's go to Matt Weiner.
All right, Dave, take a quick tour of the Pac-10 Cow. Remember, they have big road wins at Michigan State, at Washington, visiting USC, and it's Joe Igber to give them a 7-0 lead. Meanwhile, Oregon trying to do what Miami did, escape and remain unbeaten. UCLA with a chance to win it. Wide left. Does that sound familiar? Chris Griffith, no good from 51. Oregon survives.
It is wide left day.
Boy, some great games.
2nd and 19 after South Carolina's second sack. Inside to Ernest Sims, one of their few seniors, and down at the 35-yard line.
We will continue to point out these things that the footing does not allow Lorenzen. He normally, so believe it or not, he does have quick feet. He has no opportunity to make any attempt to escape here, and Jeremiah Garrison made a nice play, but I think the footing is a factor, and we'll continue to keep you updated on that.
Out of the gun, out in motion now Chase Harp. They are coming after Lorenzen, and he can move for a 300-pounder. Before he got it to Pinner, the whistles had blown him down, and that makes him furious here in Lexington, because he was not down. He might have had no momentum going anymore, but he was not on the ground yet.
Well, for those of you who smirked at home when I said this guy can move his feet,
there it is.
This guy can move his feet. And I'm not sure, Mike, you didn't like that call, I sense from you.
He does have some quick feet. He's keeping him underneath. Here's the hole. And they're saying, you know, that his forward progress was stopped. But let's look at his feet. This is close to a 300-pounder here. Don't believe the 275 you see in the press guide. And he's moving those feet very, very well.
They will go for it on 4th down 17. 4-man rush, quick kick by Lorenzen. And it will roll inside the 1 before Cook downs it. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That is absolutely brilliant football.
35 yards. If it was 35 yards and a foot, it would be a touchback. Lorenzen with a perfect quick kick. That's where Carolina will start.
Tracy. Tracy.
What?
What's the
story. How about a little hustle?
taking it easy?
You think the world revolves around you?
got a lot of teeth to brush.
You're another pampered athlete. That's... Wally, no! No! Zerbiak! Zerbiak, get out here!
There's a line.
This is the sound. These are the results. This is the sound of the PowerFlex by Gold's Gym, the authority since 1965. Gold's Gym gives you one powerful machine with 65 club-quality exercises. The secret to the PowerFlex begins with the swivel flex pulleys that provide you with free range of motion. Next, Power Stroke Resistance simulates the natural movement of your muscles and allows you to move from 10 to 410 pounds of resistance with one simple stroke. Call now for free information about how you can get the Gold's Gym PowerFlex into your home for as low as $49 a month. With the Gold's Gym PowerFlex, you get the lat tower, the multi-position bench, hip strap, rowing seat, ankle strap, handles, and space saver design. As a special bonus, when you order, you'll also get the Gold's Gym PowerFlex leg developer for stronger legs and shapelier hips and thighs. A $200 value absolutely free. Call the number on your screen now.
ESPN2's College Football Saturday Night, brought to you by Acura. Introducing the 260-horsepower Acura TL Type S. And by 1010-220. Dial it, and all calls up to 20 minutes are 99 cents.
That Lorenzen quick kick has 70,000 on their feet, with South Carolina backed up literally to its own goal line.
You know this is going to Pinnock. You know it is. If I'm Kentucky, I come up, man, blitz the run gap. Go for the safety right now.
Everybody on the line as Jenkins sneaks for a yard.
There should be a flag here. The right halfback, who is Pinnock, lined up in the wishbone, is moving prior to the snap. No flag, no snap, no gain. And here's how it got there. The second most important thing, second only to ball security in football, is field position, and it doesn't get any better than this.
Look at that, just nonchalant. And he's got the home run trot off the field. Nice kick.
Full house again. Great fake. And over the middle, caught by Brewer to the 23. Let's check in with Matt Weiner.
Dave, first ever overtime in Michigan Stadium against Penn State. Nittany Lions get a field goal, then on 3rd and 1, Chris Perry breaks through for the game winner. Big Blues now beaten Joe Puck 6 straight years.
And I have got to think no one has ever had a 6-year winning streak over Joe Puck.
Nope.
Well, something of a gutsy call with Jenkins feeling some pressure, but out of the shadow of their own goalpost now. And Jenkins rolling, gets away from Burns, and then dropped hard by Tayo Aboke. Up from safety.
Very tough to defense the play action out of the wishbone. This is John Goodner, the defensive coordinator, that's doing such a good job here at Kentucky. And what you tell your defense is you must keep them down inside the 5 and make them punt from the back of the end zone. 70% of the time that results in a score for your offense. South Carolina was able to get off the goal line with the excellent play action and pass.
Well, Goodley thought South Carolina may be the best team they've played this year, even better than Georgia or Florida when all is said and done. Long pass broken up by Anquan Huffman, intended for Troy Williamson.
Hung the ball up there a little too high. Chance for the defender to come back for it. But let's keep an eye, as Michelle started talking about this, and we'll keep an eye on it. Watch the turf coming up. It may be some drainage going on, and that's fine, but the grass is still wet. And look at the turf coming up. Now watch him set up. The back foot sliding a little bit. Maybe a little more difficult to step into with that back foot coming up.
I don't know, Bill. You talked about the old clay subsurface they had here.
Yeah, it was a lot worse than this.
Jenkins underthrowing Williamson. And they did dig it out from literally their own goal line, but now will have to kick it back over from the 25.
You will see people who do not keep the weight over the balls of their feet, and I know I'm being repetitive here, but what happened with Corey Jenkins is that he did not set up keeping the primary amount of his body weight over his feet. When he stepped backward, that's when his foot slipped and he lost purchase, made a poor throw.
So Dean to kick, senior out of Barnwell, South Carolina. Fair catch, Abney. Crawford pretty close to him, but no flag this time on a 35-yard kick. Coming up next, our college football triple header concludes on ESPN2. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. BYU visits Chance Harridge and the 5-0 Air Force Falcons. College football Saturday with what should be an entertaining conclusion. Notre Dame has taken care of its business. They knocked off Pitt. Now if Air Force hangs on against BYU at home, then they'll have an undefeated showdown at 10 Eastern, 8 Mountain next Saturday on ESPN. Here's Penner. It's about 3 yards after contact and 5 all told. Brought down by George Gause. R2, senior from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, who is also their leading receiver, 20 catches and a couple of touchdowns that way coming in. 8 touchdowns on the ground. He has scored at least one in every game so far.
Chase Harp just limped off, the tight end. Couldn't see what the injury was.
Penner, this time running into a wall at the line of scrimmage.
The South Carolina defense is tough as nails, and they may give up ground, but they do it grudgingly. Randy Jackson, Sean Smith on that play, headed up by Charlie Strong, one of the better defensive coordinators in the country. Every year considered for head jobs, and hopefully one day will get his opportunity. There's Charlie.
Oh, he will.
Bright, cheerful guy.
Yep.
Tough as nails. Excellent defensive coordinator.
And he will make an excellent head coach.
In fact, we're surprised it hasn't already happened,
right?
aren't we? Darrell Jackson, another good one. Former teammate of Bill Curry, in fact, now on the Kentucky staff. We're scoreless at the end of the first quarter. South Carolina and Kentucky in Lexington.
Bank, File, and Deal, the new hit series from ESPN, Tuesday at 8.
Fly somewhere in the Acura TL Type S.
Number one.
Want to see the pros do it for real? Win a trip from Castrol to the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl. Go to AutoZone for details.
Guess who?
Hello? Hello, Mr. Storm?
The dreaded telemarketer.
It's Strom.
Telemarketers got your number? Get the Telezapper, and soon those annoying calls will just about stop altogether. Available at stores everywhere. Rated E for everyone.
This is what it feels like when I start draining threes.
This is what you'll see when you bring it in my lane.
This is what it feels like to be dunked on.
This is what it feels like to play in the NBA.
NBA 2K3.
Reviewing our last fiscal year, the numbers from January were slightly better than the numbers from February. However, the numbers in January were identical to the numbers in March. The numbers in April were slightly lower than the numbers in March, but identical.
Like playing games? Come to Best Buy, where you can play the latest video games and try out a lot of other cool stuff. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
I remember I was craving a cheese sandwich, only I didn't have cheese or a car. So I built my own ride. At the same time, an unsuspecting Mr. Yang Lem Chu was getting in his car. We rode 400 miles. until fate intervened in Cheddar, New Mexico, at a house of cheese. And I can't help but think, was this coincidence or part of something bigger?
Second-year head coach and a 31st-year head coach. Head-to-head tonight, Guy Morris and Lou Holtz, scoreless as we begin the second quarter. Dave Barnett with Mike Golick, Bill Curry, Michelle Tafoya. Sold-out Commonwealth Stadium. A series that is dead even, 6-6 and a tie. 3rd and 3. Flag down as Lorenzen looks and scrambles and throws complete to Chris Bernard. Bernard brought down by Matthew Thomas from the 46-yard line, but there was movement before the snap.
Yeah, movement on the defense coming off sides. Nice play by Lorenzen, running to the line, forcing the defensive back, Dante Robinson, to decide what he's going to do. But obviously, they'll take the reception, decline the penalty.
ESPN 2 game track through the first quarter. We had a deluge about an hour before the game, and so that's left a slippery, uncertain track. We've seen that affect Jenkins already a couple of times. And for Lou Holtz, if he wins, he ties his former mentor, Woody Hayes, for 8th on the all-time win list. Remarkable, though, that after an 0-11 start, he is a game over 500 at Carolina. And Pinner stopped for no gain.
And he's done it in the Lou Holtz way. At Notre Dame in 1988, he's the only coach in the history of keeping these kinds of records to win the national championship on the field and to win the national championship in graduation rate, which he did at your alma mater, Mike. That's hard to do.
He has done a great job everywhere he has gone.
He just proved that you can do it right.
And what a storyteller. One of the best.
That's true.
Lorenzen will call time on 2nd down and 10. First time out for the Wildcats. And let's go down to Michelle.
Well, you know, Lou Holtz came into this game, Dave, being concerned about Kentucky's receivers and what they do with the football after they catch it. If you compare the teams' passing statistics, you'll see that coming into this game, both teams passed at a completion rate of about 61, 62%. But look a little more closely at Kentucky's yardage. 801 of the yards that they've earned, that's 73% of their passing total came after the catch. So South Carolina's defense this week worked on getting 2 to 3 players to the ball after the catch to try to slow down Kentucky's passing game. You've seen some examples of it already, haven't you, Bill?
Seen some examples, and what it forces defenses to do, you have to deploy, you get spread all over the field, which makes it more difficult to converge on the football. Now watch the white shirts. The defensive linemen must turn and run. They must be involved. The secondary players are not going to tackle these elusive guys by themselves. So you see, he was hit, what, 3 or 4 times before he came down. Defenses are being forced to play more zone, which means you can complete more of those, because when you're in man, your back is turned to the line of scrimmage, and if a guy does get loose, Mike, he'll run in the end zone.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and it's another one of those situations where we may have to keep an eye on footing as the defense of South Carolina is breaking to the ball. They need to keep their feet and break down in front of those receivers.
Now, after the timeout, 2nd down and 10, pump fake, and then the handoff to Pinner. And let's check in again with Matt Weiner in the studio.
Dave, remember last week USC gave up all sorts of offense to Washington State in overtime loss, and now down 14-3. Terrell Williams, a 1-yard plunge, and Cal is up. Meanwhile, Oklahoma about ready to take the Red River Shootout 35-24. 7 interceptions this game. They've hurt the Sooners the least. That's me, Frank.
Well, same story for Chris Sims and Mack Brown against OU. 3rd year in a row. Texas led 14-3. Pinner on the screen. There's some yardage after contact. About 5 extra, give him 11 before he's chased down by Sean Smith, the nose tackle.
Now, what Pinner does, and all great backs can do this, is he does keep his weight over the balls of his feet. Why are other people slipping? And Pinner's keeping his feet. Look at him. When he lands, he doesn't step out to the side or way in advance. He's got his weight over the balls of his feet.
Yeah, and give it up, Jason Rollins, Matt Huff, 2-0 lineman. There's Huff right there, 61. getting down the line. Again, Pinner not getting hit until the second level. That means your line is doing an excellent job inside and getting outside on those screens.
Out of the gun, Lorenzen. Well protected. Another screen. Hart, the tight end. Only good for a couple this time. Thrown down by Jermaine Lemons.
Now, one reason that Lorenzen can keep his feet on a field like this is because his body weight sinks in his cleats much deeper than anybody else.
The man is bigger than two of his linemen. Nick Seitz is 280, and Jason Rollins is 275. Jared Lorenzen is not 275. I guarantee you that.
That was junior high.
Let's go about I lost it. I lost it.
You're still not close.
About 290, 295, pushing my weight, I think.
There's a reason that we don't know. They don't know. They don't want to know anymore. Solid open field hit. Wow. That is how you do it. Dante Robinson, the junior corner from Athens, Georgia.
Yes, indeed. Coaches and young players, this is how you tackle somebody in the open field, and this is a great running back here now. At least a very good running back, maybe a great one. He's certainly, watch this now, he's got good moves, he's under control. Dante Robinson zeroes in on his belt buckle and nails him right there, picks him up, puts him in the ground.
Already has his 4th interception of the year tonight. Here's 3rd and 1, Kentucky. And out of the eye, they toss for Pinner. Short side of the field, first down and more. To the 15, 14-yard line, Artur Pinner.
Close to great, Mike.
It's the job of the defense on 3rd and short to make penetration. They did not. It's the job of the offense to stay on your blocks. They did. And then Pinner finds the hole. Watch, you'll see no penetration. You just see Kentucky guys on blocks. Giving Pinner the hole, he makes a little jump and is through. And when you're loading up on the line to stop the short yardage, that's a fantastic jump.
It's a great jump. A great job by Sylvester Miller, number 75, the right tackle. He landed with the weight over the balls of his feet.
High again, and Campay this time. The fullback on the carry and lost it. And the Gamecocks have recovered at the 11-yard line. First time Lorenzen hands it to anyone other than Pinner, and Mike Campay, senior fullback, turns it over.
The single most important statistic for Kentucky this year is +6, which is what they are in the turnover margin. What they have not done is put the ball on the ground. They've only fumbled. They've lost 2 fumbles the entire season. This makes 3 at the absolute worst time.
And I guarantee you, South Carolina is saying about time it's happening to somebody else because they've given up enough fumbles this year.
Langston Moore, senior nose tackle, caused it. Jeremiah Garrison, linebacker, recovered it for Carolina. And this is Dongreel Pinkins in at quarterback. Short toss to Ryan Brewer. So a quarterback change with a sophomore Pinkins, who had most of the practice reps this week, but has bothered himself by a bruised left hand. I remind you, Thursday at midnight, catch the latest series from ESPN Original Entertainment, The Season. SEC football follows the cheerleaders, students, parties, alumni, players in class and on the practice field. Key SEC matchups every week with an emphasis on the home team. And families are following the Wildcats here in Lexington this week. Pinkins to Pinnock. And Pinnock reaches the 18 before he's dropped to bring up a 3rd down at 4.
That's what I love about Pinnock in the big backs, Bill. You see he takes that swing pass, and he doesn't try and sprint going toward the sidelines to get all the can. He just turns it upfield and almost is hunting somebody up to hit. Love seeing the big guys run.
He's looking for one of those 3 safeties to run over. 255. That was before lunch his freshman year.
Pinkins getting this series. He has played in 4 of the first 6 games. Not his first time on the field. Brewer somehow comes away with that. Ripped it away from Ronnie Riley. I don't know if Riley looked up and saw the ball in time, but it was right there for the taking. And Brewer took it away and has the 1st down.
Ryan Brewer was Player of the Year in the state of Ohio. His senior year in high school, was not highly recruited. Lou Holtz gave him a chance to come play Division 1A. He has been just priceless in every way. Now, is this a football play or what? That's the way to put it away. Ryan, right there on your hip.
Royce Lane also had a piece of it. As Pinnock fights just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He was most valuable player in a bowl game where they defeated Ohio State, as if to say, take it there, folks. You didn't recruit me, now you pay.
And the thing that's impressive is this guy doesn't seem big enough, strong enough, or fast enough to be Division I. As you said, Lou Holtz gave him a chance. And there you are in a critical situation. Who do they go to? Ryan Brewer, the guy they know they can count on.
Well, who made the catch coming off the goal line? Ryan Brewer.
Pinnock. And he charges forward for 5, 6 yards. Michelle's got some more thoughts on Ryan Brewer.
Well, remember what Lou Holtz told us? He said if you come to South Carolina and you're looking for a #1 draft pick and you're looking for vertical leap and strength and size, you're not going to take Ryan Brewer. But if you're looking for dependability and everything else you want out of a player on the field, you are going to take Ryan Brewer.
Well, despite one ankle that's about twice its normal size, he had it operated on back in May. Pinkins keeping and has a first down. In fact, Pinkins coming off a broken ankle himself on August 18th.
But bear in mind, what we're watching here in this drive is a South Carolina team that's converting 1 third down after another on a defense that gives up less than a third of the time a third down situation.
Another first down. Jenkins 2 of 7, 23 yards. Pinkins is at all 3 of his throws. All short ones. And keeps his time after faking to Pinnock. Does pretty well to almost make it all the way back to the line of scrimmage. Deion Holtz had a pretty good hold on it.
Well, that's a hang on, Deion, hang on. Comes in from the outside, doesn't go for the fake. Pick is trying to get outside.
Holt got his best Holt, didn't he?
Hold on. Come in.
Now, down here we say, get your best Holt.
Your best Holt?
Yep, and he holds on to him and got him down.
Fits.
Nice job, Deion. That's hard.
Holtz, a recruited walk-on from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Second down. Still Pinnock. This time Pinnock does take the handoff. And runs right into the safety, David Johnson.
And every time he runs the ball, he runs somebody over, and he lands on them, and I know you love that, Mike.
It's what's called an ice pack game. I mean, a lot of ice packs going on after the game on both sides. You know, Pinnock, we've already seen him lay some shots. This time, Pinnock laid out David Johnson, or ran through him, but Johnson, hang on. They're hanging on.
Third down again. Kentucky defense accustomed to getting off the field in these situations.
Jenkins, quarterback keeper all the way. Wildcats had it all the way. Morris Lane tracking him from the get-go.
Going to the well an awful lot with that play. I mean, it's just a quarterback sweep, and if you have any kind of discipline on defense, which this Kentucky defense has, guys are going to stay home and run them down. Just does not have enough speed to get around the corner on this disciplined, very fast defense, and there's defensive coordinator Mr. Goodner, very happy about that.
That's the face of anxiety and momentary relief.
Pretty much a permanent state for someone in his position, isn't it? Tyler Jean gets off a nice one, and he backs up, he backs to his 10. Now Derek Abney goes to work. A wall in front. Abney run out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Oh, my God.
A 50-yard punt, a 45-yard return by one of the best in the country. Watch out, Tyler Dean. Oh, wow.
Behind him is a 400-square-foot deluxe bachelor with a partial view. In front of him is a junior executive semi-private with no view. But right now, life is perfect. On the open road, in complete control of a 6-speed, 200 horsepower Acura RSX Type S.
Mozzarella Chicken Supreme is so delicious with its 2 slices of mozzarella and Parmesan sauce on our whole breast filet. It's taking people to a higher level. Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme, it's better here.
Man, Zito's jersey smells rank. Whew.
You need to wash it.
Can't wash it. It's his lucky jersey.
What about the streak? Just wash it.
Steve, we have a problem.
Who's starting today?
MLB Authentic Collection, available at these fine retailers.
Consider this. New Shell gasoline is specially formulated to help prevent deposits in your engine. And a clean engine performs better. Is it any wonder, then, why so many drivers choose Shell?
Kentucky gives out an award for the big stick, the biggest block every week. I think we have a winner.
Tayo Oboke. Oh, and use your term, Bill. Bless his heart. Tyler Dean, the punter, tried to make a play.
Well, he sacrificed his body.
I'd say. Mr. Oboke said, I think I can run this guy over.
The previous winner of the Big Stick Award, Jared Lorenzen. Not above throwing a block. Pinner. Weaving inside the 25 and down to the 21. Artus Pinner, 24 yards, continues a big first half.
This is, again, the offensive line. He does a great job of just tucking in behind the big guys. South Carolina not get off the block. Watch him just tuck in. He's going to almost disappear. Look at the blocks on him. He just tucks right into those guys. He almost disappears. Then he comes right out the other side. Great job by the big guys up front.
75 yards, 10 carries. For Artus Pinner, best game, 163 against Middle Tennessee State. Well on his way to that and more. In motion, Glenn Holt. Here comes Holt. Out of bounds with a late flag. Knocked out around the 10-yard line. The true freshman. And the flag will come on holding against Kentucky.
Critical mistakes are killing drives for Kentucky, but they do not spoil this kind of ball handling. Watch the big fella. Beautiful, beautiful. And then he just has to turn and take a look.
Hold is on Jeremiah Drobny, number 84, right there, grabbing the jersey, ends up pulling him down. You got to keep those hands on the inside, and you can get away with it. As soon as you put them to the outside and pull that jersey, they're going to call it every time. To teach them hands in the chest, keep them inside, pull them right to your body, you can get away with the holding. Not that you should do that, but that's how you should do it.
I'm not even going to try to work
That's how
with
you should do it. You should. You put your hands inside and get them.
Pinner to the short side and down at the 20. So don't do it, but when you do it this way.
Bill's not even going to jump in on this. Like, oh, certainly. I mean, offensive.
I'm not going to discuss that with you. We play the rules.
Yeah,
that are the rules.
You're right. You get your hands on the inside. That's what you should do, right?
And if I were playing against you and I grabbed your shirt on the inside all day long, that would please you.
No, it wouldn't. I'd be very mad about that.
Oh, you would.
Because because you're holding me.
Oh, it applies only to others.
The D lineman should be getting mad.
Just a couple of feet on first down. Draw play for Pinner. And picked his way down to the 16. All right, so again, just to make sure I understand that, do not do this. However, when you inevitably do this, don't do it this way.
Don't do it this way.
Well, what Mike's talking about is rules essentially are what is called. And if your hands are inside the plane of the body and not outside the shoulder pads, and you're holding that shirt, you're not going to be called for that unless the shirt comes away from the body.
Exactly. We do agree, Bill.
But
go ahead and get your hands on the inside and hold them.
I just wanted to know if it would be okay if I were playing against you for me to hold you. I don't think your attitude would be quite as charitable.
No, it wouldn't. Only do as I say, not as it's done to me.
And so if I leg whipped you, that wouldn't bother you either.
See, that would be a problem then, Bill.
Kentucky will call a second timeout. 3:51 to go. Second quarter. Looking for our first score tonight at Lexington.
Behind them is a 19th century cabin with a 19th century roof. Ahead of them is a 21st century modern with a 21st century electrical system. But right now, life is perfect, thanks to a clear sky, a smooth ride, and the electronic four-wheel drive, 260 horsepower Acura MDX.
Your friend is dead.
Katie Burke is the only one who believes her old boyfriend is still alive.
He's back. He's been watching me.
Because she's the only one he's after.
I go away, look what happens.
Katie Holmes.
Wherever you go, I can follow.
Benjamin Bratt.
Why are you doing this?
What you gonna do about it?
Move on with my life.
Abandoned. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday everywhere.
How you look on the outside reflects how you feel on the inside. Introducing Homme by Olay. The only body wash that restores your skin with natural ingredients and Olay skincare science. Homme Body Wash Bar, Mist, and Scrub.
Guess who?
Hello? Hello, Mr. Storm?
The dreaded telemarketer. Telemarketer's got your number? Get the Telezapper, and soon those annoying calls will just about stop altogether. Available at stores everywhere.
Stuart Scott and the gang get you ready for Monday night. Monday Night Countdown, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Delivered by UPS.
Dave Barnett, you were talking about this earlier. Here it is, the big stick award handed out to the offensive player. Now, not a lineman. You got to be a back or a receiver. Or in the case of Jared Lorenzen, the only quarterback to ever win this for throwing quite a hefty block in the Middle Tennessee game. Do we have time to show it to you now? Take a look at this. Golick, you can circle the play.
You'll see big Jared Lorenzen there. They'll do it for you. You'll see exactly where he is. He's going to get downfield, and he is going to lay him out. We'll get the rest of that after we see this play.
Play fake. Lorenzen pump fake. It's just a Pinner with the wall. Pinner for a first down.
Let's go back to it and finish off the play again. Jared, we've seen him, Bill, watching him in tape. This man likes to get downfield and block. He doesn't just like to hang out.
Look at his speed. Look at him fly.
Oh, and behind the behind the runner, too. You don't want him to do that, but what a great hit. Oh, yeah.
It's a legal block, but you should never block behind the runner.
But it gets you the big stick award.
He has not missed. 10 for 10, mostly short stuff. That one got him just outside the 10, so not quite first and goal. And he's got to call his last time out. What is South Carolina doing that is causing these quick decisions by Lorenzen that they can't go with the call play? We'll talk about that when we come back.
Sunday at 11, have breakfast with the NFL Countdown crew.
Where would you rather be, right here, right now?
Terry Glenn faces his demons in New England.
Deep down inside, I was really hurting because I wasn't out there.
Get a glimpse of Emmitt Smith's most prized possession. Jerry Rice turns 40.
Are you nuts?
Rice reflects on his 18 seasons, plus John Madden. And our spotlight shines on the Dolphins and Broncos.
I'm all over that game now.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Minutes, hours, days, who cares? I say eat breakfast for dinner. Flip Tuesday and Wednesday. Do things on your time. It can be a little scary at first, but you know what's even scarier? Living life at the mercy of the big hand and the little hand.
Panasonic presents the next generation of DVD recorders. From the company that introduced the first DVD recorder. All your favorite programming, all your most precious memories, all recorded on a format that's both durable and shareable. For details, call today.
Networks may have schedules. I don't.
Enjoy features like Chasing Playback, which lets you play your program back from the beginning while recording to the end. Watch what you want, when you want. Record, edit, store on disc or hard drive. But first, make the call that lets you call the DVD shots.
Flexibility rules.
Right now, get 10 free recordable DVD discs, a $90 value with your Panasonic HS2. Call 1-800-592-2112 for your certificate. Become a time traveler today. Panasonic. Ideas for life.
ESPN2's College Football Saturday Night. Brought to you by the all-new 200-horsepower Acura RSX Type S. And by Paramount Pictures, presenting the new film, Abandoned. Opens October 18th everywhere. rated PG-13.
Carolina came out with a front that Lorenzen decided he could not run the call play against, and then Bill just ran out of time in the play clock.
That's right. He either had to run the bad play or call timeout, and he selected the timeout.
Can't do it anymore. They're out of timeout. Tommy Cook in motion. First down just outside the 10. And Lorenzen still perfect. Has Cook across the middle for a touchdown.
Such a great job, guys, of out route. Then Cook goes in the middle and finds the hole in the zone. We talked about crossing routes. They do a great job of sending receivers one way and coming back the other. Very nice offensive play calling package.
They are number one in America at converting inside the 20-yard line. That's 20 out of 21 times inside the 20 that Kentucky has scored.
18 of those 20 touchdowns. They're not going down there settling for 3 very often. Taylor Begley on to make it 7-0. 11 for 11. Jared Lorenzen, 96 yards and a touchdown, first of the year for sophomore Tommy Cook out of Victoria, Texas. They have Kentucky on top late in the first half.
When it comes to me and my team, every link in the chain is strong. I am Sergeant First Class Brian Birchbell, and you can see my strength.
Are you in on it? Go to cheaptickets.com for tons of unpublished airfares you won't find anywhere else. Or call now for our lowest prices on airfares, hotels, rental cars, and last-minute trips. Want to save even more? Check out our last-minute trip specials now and save up to 60%. Cheap Tickets, the best-kept secret in travel.
Tommy Cook has thrown the only incomplete pass. In fact, it was intercepted on a flea flicker by Dante Robinson. Lorenzen hasn't missed. His 11th straight completion is a touchdown to Cook. And fast-moving first half, 7-0 Wildcats. Brewer watches that one go through the back of the end zone, and one more look at the touchdown.
Takes a lot of things to score a touchdown, including blocking. Pinner is an excellent back, but look what he's doing right here. He's knocking a big defensive lineman onto the ground. That's Jason Capers, to allow his quarterback time to take his time and thread the needle once again. Lorenzen, uncanny accuracy tonight.
Corey Jenkins has returned the quarterback for Carolina. Gondrell Pinkins had a series. And now back to the starter. There's him up in the eye. And Kenny Irons with his first carry. True freshman, hit for a loss. Down in the show.
Dave trainer Rob Walters of South Carolina told me Jason Capers has a very bad left ankle, as he described it. He's being taken in for x-rays. By the way, Spur Rashad Faison also went in for an x-ray. They are waiting on the results. So 2 big-time defensive players down for South Carolina right now.
And Capers started because Dennis Quinn had a sprained ankle against Mississippi State. Quinn made the trip, thought to possibly be available for a play or two. Irons again with the 25, and let's hear from Matt Winder.
Well, Dave, they're going to be shocked in Southern California. Cal handing it to the Trojans of SC. Kyle Fuller up top. Jonathan McConan comes down with it. And the Golden Bears up 21-3.
Actually, I don't know how shocking that is anymore, the way Cal has started this year.
They played it well against everybody.
Wildcat fans on their feet, hoping for a stop on a 3rd and 5. And they're going to get it. Jenkins sacked at the 17. Otis Grigsby.
The stunts on both sides of the line. You're going to see the D linemen. They're stunting. The tackles coming outside. The ends coming inside. Watch on both sides. On the top and underneath. Grigsby came from the outside. Caudle, the tackle, went to the outside to the inside. A lot of times you get those linemen then not passing off well enough, and you get the sack.
And they almost get a block punt. Dean got it off. Not much in the way of yardage on this one. And the flag is down as Abney is hit after just a 29-yard punt by Dean. And slow getting up for Carolina.
Dante Robinson.
And the flag against Carolina. And let's see what Matt has coming up for us at halftime.
Well, Dave, we've got wide left. Something new for Bobby Bowden in the Florida State-Miami series. We'll tell you what made the difference. The Red River rivalry devolved into a bit of a rout. Mark May explains why Oklahoma won the game. Plus, bonus ball in the Big House. First ever overtime gives Michigan their 6th straight win over jump ball on Penn State. It's all coming up at the half.
And Kentucky with field position now after the short punt plus the penalty. And a minute 13 to work with.
And no timeouts. They burned them all.
Lorenzen has his first incompletion go off the hands of Chris Bernard. Covered pretty well by Takeem Muhammad.
Yeah, that's the first really bad pass he's thrown. That was not a good pass. Tight man coverage.
Well, he's got a
with
whip,
a safety behind him. What you do is you teach your quarterback, if there's a safety back there behind that corner, that means that corner, in this case it's Takeem Muhammad, can break on the football, and he doesn't have to worry about the deep stuff. Bad reading.
Pump fake, now looks, buys time, and somehow got it off before he was sacked, and Pinner pile drives his way to the 28 as we get under a minute. And Kentucky goes hurry up. No timeouts, remember. They've used all 3 of them. Twice with the play clock almost down to 0.
They have time. Get the first down. That'll stop the clock. They're still all right.
In the game, 26-yard line. Snap with 39 seconds. And again, Lorenzen has to scramble and then throw it away.
Now, the field conditions, once again, have a big influence. A kicker that can't get his plant foot down and get good purchase and get good traction slips and invariably falls as he kicks the ball. And that doesn't help you to get it through the uprights.
They've sent Begley out. His best of the year is 49. This is going to be 46 yards. Begley, redshirt freshman out of Danville, Kentucky. 4 out of 6 for the year. Out of the hold of Glenn Packalak. And flag as the kick sails through.
Unbelievable.
But whistles before Packalak had the snap down.
Langston Moore jumped off sides. This is a first down. Number 57.
But I might be inclined to keep these 3 points with only 33 seconds.
I think they were blowing the whistle.
They did that.
Yeah, they were blowing the whistle, so it doesn't matter.
That was a dead ball.
Yeah.
Offside by the defense. Penalty's 5 yards from the previous spot, which was the first down.
What's the head of the holder, Glenn Packalak here?
It's the center's head that got him to move, but he's not supposed to be watching anybody's head.
Yep.
Coleman Barnes, fine long snapper for Kentucky. Excellent snap. Those D-linemen are supposed to be watching what, Mike?
The ball.
Right.
Drive continues. Lorenzen incomplete, intended for Aaron Boone.
Ooh, he had his man. They had him in a zone, and he got that nice crossing route. That window right between the linebackers. Aaron Boone, one of the big receivers.
And you're going to get that with South Carolina tonight. They're a zone team, so if Lorenzen has time, he's going to be able to find the guys with the hole in the hole. Bad pass there.
Second down, 28 seconds. If they get one over the middle, they'll have time maybe for a couple more. Backward pass, Penny. And gets out of bounds around the 23 with 24 seconds. Goes as a running play for R.T. Spinner. Continues his big first half.
Excuse me, Dave. Offensive coordinator Brent Pease for Kentucky credits the success in what they call the blue zone. There's Brent right there with the hat on. He calls it the blue zone for obvious reasons. Most people call it the red zone. He credits it to his wide receivers. He gets his big receivers in the game. Plus, when they can, inside the 12, they get in two tights and just hammer it in. They'll have to throw it in if they get there this time.
Clearing the field 4 wide. And Lorenzen with time. Floats one to the end zone, and no chance that time for Cook to run through Robinson's coverage. But they'll have another chance to get Begley a field goal try with 17 seconds.
I'm impressed with these wide receivers. Harold Jackson, my old teammate with the L.A. Rams. Marvelous job, and man, he was a gazelle on the football field. It was fun to be on the team with that guy.
Harold Jackson and Jack Snow in L.A., Harold Jackson and Harold Carmichael in Philadelphia. Wherever he was dangerous. So after having one try wiped out by the penalty, 41-yarder, and that one is drilled as well. 10-0.
I'll tell you something else that's impressive. It's these special teams of Kentucky.
It all adds up to a bright future for you at the University of Kentucky.
Nothing Wildcats. And if Carolina wants some really bad news, Kentucky's best quarter, probably the third. They've had 2 28-point third quarters this year in their first 5 games.
They're doing a great job on special teams. Mark Nelson, the special teams coach, has got these guys believing. He's got cooperation from starters and backups, and they're playing so hard, and they're returning kicks, and they're making kicks. They're doing things, the little tiny things in the kicking game make such a difference, and that's why Kentucky's doing well.
But
another reason.
It starts with that guy we just showed before, the head coach, Guy Morris. He has changed the attitude around here for this Kentucky program.
Guy Morris has done a wonderful job. He's a colleague of another of my old teammates, Raymond Berry, and he credits Raymond with an awful lot of his football philosophy and the way he treats players. I can't imagine a better mentor.
A Gary Cooper type, too.
He's a tough lineman, though.
When you come to Kentucky, you expect to see big Lou Michaels kicking off left-footed.
You got it in. There's your shout out.
There you go, Lou. My man.
Clinton Roots kick through the back of the end zone again with 13 seconds. A Michaels-like effort if we ever saw one. Don't forget, next, BYU, undefeated Air Force. And this one will not be easy at all for the Falcons. Vance Harridge running their wing bone triple option attack. Brett Engelman runs the, as usual, high-powered BYU. Look, that's 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, right after we're done here. And Notre Dame has remained undefeated. If Air Force can do likewise, those two will be perfect head-to-head in Colorado Springs next week.
And we'll be doing that game.
Hey, we will. Yes, we will. Lou Holtz has a 10-0 hole to crawl out of after the first half in Lexington. Kentucky with 2 late scores And let's send you back from Commonwealth Stadium to the studio. And again, welcome Matt Weiner.
Dave, thank you very much. Gamecocks 10th in the SEC in scoring, a 10-0 home, not the place you want to be against the top-scoring team in the SEC. Matt Weiner and Mark May on a colossally ginormous day of college football. The big one at noon was, of course, Miami and Florida State. We'll talk about that in just a bit. We've got some big games going on tonight that might ordinarily be the biggest of the day. Cal up 21-10 on USC after taking a 21-3 lead. Kyle Bowler now one shy of the school's all-time touchdown pass record. Iowa State and Texas Tech, battle of great quarterbacks. Right now, not much happening. 3 all. Seneca Wallace, 1 carry, 16 yards. Kingsbury's only thrown 5 passes, 24 yards and a pick. Jared Lorenzen came in passing 60% on the year, hit his first 10. That number will go up. These numbers 10-0 at halftime.
Behind him is a 400-square-foot deluxe bachelor with a partial view. In front of him is a junior executive semi-private with no view. But right now, life is perfect. On the open road, in complete control of a 6-speed, 200 horsepower Acura RSX Type S.
With revolutionary new Sirius satellite radio in his car, a man finds he feels more like a man. Does he ever need to ask for directions? Never. He's got 100 channels of premium digital entertainment in his car, including 60 channels of 100% commercial-free music. So there's no need to actually arrive. Plus, he gets 40 channels of sports, news, and entertainment. Want Sirius in your car? Visit your audio retailer and get a $75 mail-in rebate on any new Sirius system. Only Sirius has 100% commercial-free music. Just where does a guy with all this entertainment prefer to dine?
Did you want any ketchup with that? Girls?
Why, in his car, of course. Now get a $75 mail-in rebate when you visit these or other fine retailers today. Sirius Satellite Radio. You'll never want to leave your car.
Welcome back to the College Game Day halftime report. The game of the day early involved the #1 team in the country, Miami, with their 27-game win streak on the line. Bobby Bowden in this series after suffering wide right 3 straight times. Well, at least he won't have to hear that anymore. Florida State and Miami in South Florida in a very good ball game. Second quarter, Canes up 7-0. Florida State with the ball, and it's Nick Maddox around the left side, and he'll go 30 yards for the touchdown. Knowles up 17-14 at half.
This is the biggest part of Florida State's offense. Greg Jones pounding the football. Here he pounds it up the middle for a touchdown.
Miami comes back down 27-21. Ken Dorsey to Willis McGahee on the screen. Busts out to the right side. Down the sideline he'll go, and will he? No, down to the 11-yard line. Next play.
He's a little tired, so he's going to let his backup, J.C. Geathers, take the ball, seams up the middle, and goes in for the score.
McGahee's got plenty of touchdowns. Canes come back to lead at 28-27. Miami punting. Freddie Capshaw shanks it. That's a 3-yard punt.
Worst punt of his career.
Florida State with a great, that's it. Florida State with a great field position with 2:05 remaining. So we've seen this before. Wide right 3 different times since 1991, needing a field goal to win in the final seconds.
You think Bobby Bowden has nightmares about this?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. With Jerry Thomas, Dan Mowry, that was a 92. How about Matt Munyon? That's closer.
Oh, yeah.
Miami won that one 27-24. Knowles got to get themselves in position. Chris Ricks, much maligned, but gutsy down the stretch. Talman Gardner for a first down, and we're in range
for the win. The kick on the way. He missed it. Wide left.
That's right. Wide left. Xavier Beitia misses it, and Miami hangs on in a terrific ball game, 28-27. The game plan fairly obvious. Take the ball out of Chris Ricks' hands after the 6 turnovers last year in this ball game. Give it to Greg Jones. He runs for a ton, and they still can't pull it off, possibly because of the way they went about things in the final seconds.
Well, they were disorganized. It was a situation where your field goal unit has to run on the team. You should be prepared for this. This team was not prepared for this. Bobby Bowden and his staff have to go back and look at this situation, prepare for this for the next time, but it cost them a football game. The team had to hurry on the field. They were very disorganized. It was a bad snap that skipped off the ground and a bad hold, and the kicker missed the field goal, and that should have been the win for Florida State.
Make no mistake, Florida State did everything they could to win this football game, but actually win it.
Well, for the first 59.5 minutes, I give the Florida State coaching staff a B+ because they ran the ball with Greg Jones. But the last 30 seconds of this football game, they get an F.
Miami did not play their best game. They did survive, and that's half the battle. The other showdown game of the day, of course, number 2 Texas, number 3 Oklahoma. That's Antoine Savage. That's Antoine Savage.
He just runs away from everyone.
Look at him go. 84 yards on the return. This is late in the second quarter with Texas up 14-3. Same drive.
Well, this is huge in this ball game because Nate Hibble play action. He's going to find a tight end. Trent Smith, his first touchdown catch of the year.
Hibble with 4 interceptions in this ball game. Early fourth, Texas up 17-14. Hibble to Will Peoples, and Peoples drops it, but Quentin Griffin, his peeps covered for him. Quentin on the spot brings it in. Oklahoma up 21-17, and there's Wilson Griffin. He just had a monster game, 18 yards on the touchdown, and Oklahoma. This is a very tight ball game for a long time. Sooners run away with it 35-24. Sims, well, what can you say? 3 more interceptions against a top 10 team. No touchdown passes. If you're keeping score at home, that's 14 interceptions, 0 TDs against top 10 opponents. Hibble also threw the 4 picks. Georgia, Tennessee, Casey Clausen out with that hairline fracture in the clavicle. James Banks, the third stringer, comes in.
What a beautiful job of setting up the string by James Banks, taking the pressure, making the rush come to him. He drops it off to Derek Tinsley. There he goes. Tinsley off to the races for a 33-yard touchdown run.
18-7, the lead is cut. Remember, it was an 18-0 Georgia lead in this game. Banks pitching back to Tinsley. He's going to go outside. Wait a minute.
Nice throw.
Chicanery. Nice spiral to Jason Witten for the touch. Balls missed the 2-point conversion, so they're down 5. $1:43 left. David Green pitches it to Tony Milton. Big run, big first down, and Georgia with a very large victory. 18-13. Terrence Edwards, by the way, 8th career 100-yard receiving game at Georgia, breaks the school record for career receiving yards as well. And a couple of large games, Texas and Oklahoma, and Texas, what can you say?
Well,
lots of talent.
We talked about this earlier. Big games, big players have to step up, and that's usually the quarterback in these games. Both quarterbacks did not play well. Chris Sims threw for 3 interceptions, Nate Hibble for 4 interceptions, but what the key to this game came down to was protecting the football at the end, coming up with big plays offensively. Once Texas got down in this game, they played scared at the end of this game. They said, oh my goodness, we're in this situation again. We've got to play comeback against a tough Oklahoma defense, and the Oklahoma defense just started pouring it on play after play. Hats off to Bob Stoops and Mike Stoops, as defensive coordinator of Oklahoma. They went into this game playing with a swagger with their football team, and they said, hey, throw caution to the wind. We're going to go out there. We're going to play football and win. They did.
The thought before the game was if Nate Hibble doesn't throw any more interceptions, they win the game. He threw 4, and they still win the game. Oregon, UCLA, another great game. One after another today. Out of the Rose Bowl, second quarter, Duck football tied at 14. Keenan Howery fields the punt for the Ducks.
Check out this block. Watch number 6. No, right there. Get out of the way.
Yeah, well, something to say about it as well. Ducks take the lead 21-14. First play of the fourth. Ducks down by 6. Jason Fife, native Southern Californian. Play action to Howery and 34 yards on the touchdown. Well, UCLA had a chance to win this game, but they missed a 51-yard field goal as time expired, and Oregon hangs on 31-32. The Ducks remain unbeaten. School record for consecutive wins. They have now won 11 straight. Pittsburgh, Notre Dame. Second quarter, 3-0 pitch. Carlisle Holiday, he did start, he did play. Finds Arnaz Battle, he found him. Touchdown pass, 7-3 Notre Dame. Fourth quarter, 7-6 Irish. Rod Rutherford, nowhere to go. He's taken down and fumbles at the 13. On the ensuing drive, it's Ryan Grant. He'll take it in for the touch. Holiday, 15 of 24, 137, 1 TD, 1 interception. Pittsburgh outgains the Irish 367 to 165, but the defense does it once again. Irish remain unbeaten. Willingham, first coach since Ara Parseghian to go 6-0. We're back.
Out here, everyone has their own mountain to climb, to measure up to head for.
Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. It's free for you and cheap for them.
What you gonna do?
Just dial right down the center. 1-800-CALLATT.
Save on every call. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
You're cute, but dangerous.
Chili's baby back ribs. To go. Get in, get out, get on with your life.
Murph, you gotta see this. Congratulations. You found a boat in the middle of the ocean.
It's a Porsche. This Halloween,
I think I saw something I couldn't possibly have seen.
a presence is awakening.
I said, we get the hell out of here.
And another world is waiting. Ghost Ship.
I know all of this isn't real.
Rated R. Starts Friday, October 25th.
If you're looking to make a phone call to Joe Paterno, you might check with Michigan. The Wolverines appear to have Joe Pa's number. 5 straight losses coming into the big house. First quarter, Combs tries to down the punt. It's hit in the back by Ernest Chaser, and he is down. Frightening moment. Combs parted off the field. Fourth quarter, Penn State down 14-3. Zach Mills, Finding Johnson, Eddie Johnson. Bryant will do. 19-14 Penn State. Then the two-point conversion. Mills, Bryant again. 21-14 Penn State. Michigan answer. John Navarre, Braylon Edwards, short touchdown, second of the day. We're 21 all going to the first ever overtime at the big house. Chris Perry wraps it up after a Penn State field goal. Michigan gets the touchdown, and Michigan gets the victory. 6 straight against Penn State. Navarre 27 of 41, 246, couple of touchdowns. These two teams don't play again until 2005. Wisconsin first road game for Barry Alvarez's team since August 31st. Fourth quarter, Indiana within 5. Gibran Hamden drops back, sacked. Badgers got it 4 times after an incomplete pass, 3rd and 17, 29-24 game. Hamden, Courtney Roby get that first down marker. He does. Drive is a wide. 2:23 left. 2nd and 10. Hamden. Glenn Johnson in the end zone. Nice snag. The 2-point is good. Hoosiers win it 32-29. Hamden 331 yards. 4 touchdowns, and Indiana gets a very large win. First ever win over a ranked Wisconsin team. They're now 1-6 in those situations. Michigan State coming off a bye week into Iowa City to take on the high-scoring Hawkeyes. Kickoff return.
Somebody take Lewis. Angle on Jermel Lewis. Look at him. Look at the 3 guys. Nobody took the proper angle, but what an outstanding return by Jermel Lewis. 94 yards for the touchdown.
Pretty darn easy. Yeah. Michigan State trying to get something going. Jeff Smoker.
No.
Derek Pagel. And Derek Pagel doing like Jermel Lewis. Down the sideline, 62 yards, and Bobby Williams can't be pleased by this. His team, well, not good. 44-16 is the final in this one. Banks, 154 yards. Fred Russell only went for 75, and yet the score tells you all you need to know about that ball game. Ohio State squeaks past San Jose State. The Road Warriors, 57. Maurice Claret, 132 yards, 3 more touchdowns. Iowa, very impressive against the team coming off a bye, presumably well prepared, comes in, and they kill them.
They're fine, too, and Kurt Ferentz, the head coach, has his team rolling in the right direction. Obviously, their offense puts a lot of points on the board, but what's key in this game, their defense. They came into this game 116th ranked in pass defense against Charles Rogers. You would figure Charles Rogers would have a field day against this defense. They didn't. They rolled coverage towards them. They double-teamed them. They had great one-on-one coverage, and the safety always came out to help. It was a great defensive scheme by Iowa, and I think a lot of teams will learn a lot from today's game to play against Charles Rogers. But the best team right now, in my opinion, Big Ten, Iowa bar none. Their defense had finally gotten to a stage, I think, Matt, where they're starting to get that swagger, that confidence about them that they're not going to let anybody roll over them defensively.
3 unbeaten teams in the Big Ten, Iowa, Michigan, and Penn State. And right now, you got to say the Hawkeyes are the team. Wildcats looking pretty good. They're up 10-0 on South Carolina.
Be raw in bed. Groove. Step in and out of the groove.
Deconstruction of construction.
Liberation from limitation.
Exploration of mind and soul.
Free.
Wow. With control.
Free with control. Freestyle.
acting in the natural creation.
On the fly.
Fly.
Your brain never asking your body why.
Not knowing what your next move is. Freestyle.
Agile. Mobile. Dancing and going.
Whichever way it wants to be flowing.
Mind roaming so your body can follow.
Body roaming.
So your mind can follow. No right,
no wrong.
Just doing it.
That's freestyle.
Freestyle with control. Freestyle. Free with control.
Freestyle. That's freestyle.
Go freestyle. Get live. NBA Live 2003. Rated E for everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game.
It all starts here, grade school, the place where our children begin preparing for life. And the SEC recognizes the responsibility teachers have to affect their future.
The SEC's education initiative, every elementary school and library throughout the Southeast is getting this wonderful CD-ROM. It uses athletics to reinforce math and reading skills, and it teaches things like teamwork and good sportsmanship.
The Southeastern Conference, creating a legacy for the future.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. This is the Bowflex Power Pro. Quite possibly the most effective home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 60 Health Club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. You can own a Bowflex with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Call and ask for a free video and brochure, and check out the entire Bowflex lineup, or visit us on the web today. Redefine your body with Bowflex.
North Carolina State, one of those 11 Division 1A unbeatens to start the day. Texas, the only one who's lost so far. How would the Wolfpack fare against North Carolina? Well, Darian Durant has some ideas. Touchdown pass, 17-7, UNC. Middle third, 17-13. Durant was on 20. He scrambled. He's lost the throw. Just plain lost the ball. Wolfpack recover. Very next play, TA, like totally awesome. McClendon, second touchdown of the day, 4-yard sweep, 2017 NC State. They win it 34-17. Missouri and Nebraska, a Nebraska team you might think right for the pickings for Truman the Tiger. And Mizzou, second quarter, $1.50 remaining. Actually make it first quarter. Brad Smith and Darius Outlaw, first and goal Tigers. They would convert and take a 7-0 lead. But Jamal Lewis very patient on this rollout. A nice little touch to Aaron Galladay. Cornhuskers take their first lead of the game at 14-13, and this was the backbreaker for the Tigers. DeJuan Grossman.
Excellent blocking. Excellent. Look at the move here. Oh, pick up your shoes, young man.
Nebraska hangs on. They get a big 12 win, 24-13, and important win for Nebraska the way things are going.
Yes, it was. But I want to go back and talk about the NC State game. Chuck Amado's team played very well today. He's got a hot quarterback in Phillip Rivers, but his running back is a freshman, T.A. McClendon. He is one of the top 2 running backs in the country, in my opinion, along with Maurice Clarett, but he has heart and character. He played with a cast on, had surgery on his wrist last week. Tough player.
Banged up, big game today. They get Duke and Clemson next. Kentucky, the 15th touchdown pass of the year already for Jared Lorenzen. They're up 10-0 on South Carolina.
And the next table goes to Miller. What are you for?
Outback presents Call Ahead Seating. Just give us a ring before you come and we'll put your name on the waiting list. That way, when you show up, you'll get seated quicker.
I just want to thank my wife, Rita, for calling ahead. I love you, baby.
Call Ahead Seating, now at an Outback near you.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Quite possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 90 health club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video and brochure and check out the entire Bowflex lineup or visit us on the web today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
I've invented a test to protect South Carolina waterways.
We're developing plants that can actually pull toxins from the soil.
Our research focuses on genes that prevent a normal colon cell from becoming a colon cancer.
It's like a natural vacuum cleaner for toxic waste.
My team wants to reduce heart disease in South Carolina.
What I do...
It's hard to describe in words.
But it matters.
It matters a lot.
We're improving lives in South Carolina. That's our definition of education. 10-0 Kentucky. And set for the second half now from Commonwealth Stadium. About 70,000 or so packing it tonight, Lexington. Dave Barnett with Bill Curry, Mike Golick, and Michelle Tafoya. Lou Holtz's offense produced just 104 yards in the first half. And virtually nothing out of the passing game. Meanwhile, Guy Morris got a late touchdown pass from Jared Lorenzen and Tommy Cook, then a Taylor Begley field goal. And we'll find out what Michelle found out during halftime.
Well, I spoke to Guy Morris, Dave, and I asked him about his defense holding South Carolina scoreless. He said, we're not doing anything special. We were just very well prepared and we're playing hard. But he said he's really unhappy about the 2 fumbles and the interception in the first half. I also spoke with Lou Holtz coming out of the locker room. He's very disappointed in his team's inability to convert on 3rd down. He said field position and penalties have killed us. And as you just cited, Dave, he said we have got to be better in the passing game. Even though, Dave, coming into this game, he said we can't make a living passing. We're going to have to run the football. But right now he's looking for more productivity out of the passing game.
Well, they came in not a aerial circus by any stretch of the imagination, but balanced. And there's been no balance whatsoever so far tonight. So Clint Ruth gets the second half underway. And Brewer returns from the 1. Wildcats have him bottled up at the 17. And the first half, ESPN2 game track.
R2 spinner. When you hear the Kentucky fans with that twos, they're talking about this complete football player. He's a dominant running back who can block and also catch the football.
Jared Lorenzen hit his first 11 passes, finished up very nice for the half. Nice routes by the receivers. They have excellent offense moving right now, mixing in the run as well as the pass.
The average starting spot for a drive by the Gamecocks has been their 17. This one begins at the 18 with a handoff to Pennick. And Pennick stretches to the 24-yard line. Pennick didn't have a bad first half, but again, only 104 yards and only 36 passing yards, the problem for the Gamecocks.
The biggest keys to the football game are the 3 turnovers by Kentucky. Otherwise, the score would be much larger. And the field position that Derek Abney has provided along with the excellent special teams on the Kentucky team.
Corey Jenkins started, played all but 1 series on a bad ankle. Runs into Pennick. And then down to 27.
Well, they have been really going to the well with either the handoff to Pennick off the shotgun or the quarterback keeping it. And I have to believe Kentucky has it kind of figured out at this point.
Well, they're very lucky that ball didn't go on the ground because that was a snafu. It was a snafu in the backfield.
Snafu?
Yes.
All right.
South Carolina only 3 out of 8 in 3rd down conversion attempts.
Just needing a little over a yard this time. And out of the full house, they give it to Dacus Turman, a true freshman with his first carry of the night.
Call it, Mike.
Oh, he's got it.
Oh, okay.
He's got the first down. A little shocker there. I'm sure everybody watching on TV and in the stadium here thought it was going to Pennick, 255-pounder. Pull a little switcheroo and move the chain.
Not a bad choice, though. Turman broke Herschel Walker's Georgia single-season rushing record, 3,167 yards 2 years ago, Washington, Georgia product. Plenty of time, and then it breaks down, and down goes Jenkins. On the sack, Ellery Moore.
Wow. That is explosion. Fresh legs, huh, Mike?
I'm going to tell you what. Dwayne Robertson, Jeremy Cottle, and Ellery Moore may be the 3 best D tackles in that rotation you may see in the country.
Watch him
Fantastic
accelerate.
job.
Look how he exploded to the ball.
He's the backup defensive tackle.
Did you teach him that stuff?
That dance?
Yeah.
I don't
It looks
even
like it.
hear the rhythms. As
You're my
trying to-
dancing bear, partner.
They don't have very much depth, but Moore, one of the best backups they have. This is a team record. 6 straight games they started the same 11 on defense. Long pass wide open. Troy Williamson. Williamson to the 30 in a foot race. And run down from behind by Antoine Huffman. Finally at the 17-yard line, a 58-yard completion. And on one play, they get more passing yards than they had for the whole game.
This is a blown coverage. Derek Tatum, number 21's in coverage. He absolutely busted on the out route. It's not a blown coverage. It's a blown assignment.
Bad coverage.
He broke on the out cut, and the free safety couldn't make the hit for him.
And, Bill, you said it earlier. 3 turnovers by Kentucky kept this one close. And it's a play like this that all of a sudden South Carolina gets a little bit of life. See if they can stick it in the end zone. It looks like they're at least going to get a chance at some point here.
Williamson, a 2-time state champ in the 100 and the 200. Jackson, South Carolina, quarterback draw. And Jenkins down to around the 14-yard line where he's hit by Justin Haydock.
Well, I don't think we have to worry about Jenkins' ankle. We kept talking about it, how he didn't practice during the week because of the bad conditions in South Carolina and tweaked that ankle. He's run the ball quite a bit tonight.
Well, Lou says he's our best back right now.
How about it?
Just talking to Coach Holtz on the conference call. There's Troy's yards, 24.9 per catch.
That will play. That will play. 58-yard catch and run got him down for their first real scoring chance all night on 2nd and 7. Jenkins has Brewer out there for the option, and Kentucky reads it all the way. Derek Tatum up.
Derek Tatum redeeming himself. Had the force on the pitch man on the option. Coach Skip Holtz, the offensive coordinator for South Carolina, hadn't shown his option package. You always know he's going to have it in. He and his dad both. Coming to the left here, Ryan Brewer in perfect pitch relationship. Cumby on the inside taking the fill. Tatum on the force from the outside for the loss.
Now it's 6. 3rd and 13 now. Four-man rush. Jenkins separated from the ball and recovered at the 22-yard line. Jeremy Caudle with the hit. And the Gamecocks very fortunate that Travell Wharton was able to fall on it, and they will get a field goal chance for Daniel Weaver.
You ask any quarterback worth his salt, where does he not want pressure? Right up in his face. And this is where Caudle comes. Nowhere to step up. Can't step outside. They take the outside away. Can't step up when a defensive tackle's coming at you. Makes it very difficult. These D tackles are playing fantastic for Kentucky.
Longest so far has been 36 for Weaver this year. Here's a 38-yarder to get the Gamecocks on the board, and he has got it. So Lou Holtz finally gets some points. He tries to keep his sideline fired up. 9:44 to go in the 3rd quarter. 10-3. J-Lo, 12 out of 16. He goes back to work when we come back to Lexington.
A new, more powerful V8 engine. More distinctive styling. 368 improvements in all. The new 2003 Discovery. It's a whole new way to see the world. From Land Rover, the most well-traveled vehicles on Earth. Nicely equipped from $399 a month. Complimentary scheduled maintenance included.
Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme is so delicious with its 2 slices of mozzarella and Parmesan sauce on our whole breast filet. It's taking people to a higher level. Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme. It's better here.
Man, Zito's jersey smells rank.
Whew. You need to wash it.
Can't wash it. It's his lucky jersey.
What about the streak? Just wash it.
Steve, we have a problem.
He's starting today.
MLB Authentic Collection. Available at these fine retailers.
What's SportsCenter's best spot ever? You decide. Vote at ESPN.com now and choose your favorite. You might even land a walk-on role in an upcoming SportsCenter promo. And you could win a T-Mobile sidekick just for voting. SportsCenter, only on ESPN.
There is a start. There is a finish. And in the journey between, there are dreams. The NCAA Hall of Champions keeps these dreams alive for you. More than a museum, the NCAA Hall of Champions takes you on an interactive journey. Relive some of the most inspirational moments in collegiate sports history and walk in the steps of a student athlete. At the NCAA Hall of Champions, you'll find something for every fan. Discover what it means to be a champion. The journey begins inside.
Kentucky leading 10-3, and South Carolina about to take the field on defense without starting defensive end Jason Capers and starting spur Rashad Faison. Faison's X-rays came back negative, rather. He's okay, but he's out for the game, as is Jason Capers. No word on Capers' X-rays. They haven't come back yet, but both players are out, Dave Barnett.
Well, big loss when you can't go with Faison. Second team All-SEC, their leading tackler last year, and Capers had started because of the injury to Dennis Quinn, a defensive end. So they are even less deep on the defensive front. Dollar's kick to Abney. Abney driven out, maybe late hit. No flag out there, although Kentucky fans sure wanted it. They wanted a flag thrown on Jonathan Martin.
And this is a big drive here for South Carolina. You saw Lou Holtz pretty animated after that field goal. He was going after the defense, saying, you've got to give us a chance right now. Get it going. They've already forced 3 turnovers.
Yep, they got the interception in addition to the 2 fumbles we saw there on the graphic.
From the 22-yard line, SEC passing leader, 8th in the country, Jared Lorenzen. R2's Penner. About 5 yards. If you ever watch a South Carolina football game, just do yourself a favor and watch Lou Holtz and try to estimate how many miles he walks during the course of a game. I mean, it's got to be at least 5 or 6, don't you think? Always pacing, up and down, back and forth. Every once in a while, he'll drop to a knee, watch a key play, and then back to his nightly walk. So he weighs about 145 pounds.
Exactly right.
Penner with a toss. And that one battled up for no game. Let's check in with Matt Weiner.
Hi, Dave. LSU in the swamp tonight. Rex Grossman. Say hello to the #1 pass defense in the country. That's Corey Webster stepping in front and stepping in for a 45-yard touchdown pass. Bengals up 13-0.
Well, Kentucky almost pulled off the surprise in the swamp. Maybe LSU does it tonight.
Kentucky did it with their special teams, too, and Abney he's one of the most exciting guys I've seen anywhere this year.
Abney wide right on 3rd and 5. Lorenzen looking his way, almost intercepted.
Miscommunication between Abney and Lorenzen. One of them was wrong. Lorenzen expected Abney to keep coming in the hole there. Abney was reading zone, and when you read zone, you hook up, and they just didn't communicate, and it probably should have been an interception. Charlie Strong encouraging his man over there.
Jonathan Martin should have made that interception right there. That's a big play you're looking for.
Lorenzen, who hit his first 11, now 1 of his last 6. Pakalak gets off a monster punt. Thomas back to his 10, and might turn this into a monster return. Got a huge block, and still going. Finally knocked out of bounds. A 62-yard punt by Pakalak. His longest of the year, a 21-yard return with the marker. That's back around the 20.
A lot of times, and Bill, you know this, in being a coach and obviously overseeing special teams, sometimes you outkick that coverage. You had a lot of room to run after he caught that ball, but how do you tell your punter not to boot 160-some yards? Huh?
Well, you tell him to get you some good hang time, and that thing was really hung up. That was probably a 5-second hang time. That's a good block. Yeah. Now, if that's what they called, the head was across, and that was a legal block.
I don't think that was what they called. There's another hit.
I think that was legal, too. That is a clip. When the head is behind the player, that is a clip.
Hakeem Muhammad. Hakeem Muhammad on the clip. So wipe out the big return for Thomas. They're going to start back inside their 10-yard line. Lou Holtz trying to tie his former boss for 8th on the all-time win list. And his quest continues.
A new, more powerful V8 engine. More distinctive styling. 368 improvements in all. The new 2003 Discovery. It's a whole new way to see the world. From Land Rover, the most well-traveled vehicles on Earth. Nicely equipped from $399 a month. Complimentary scheduled maintenance included.
Every Saturday, I get together and play football with the guys. But this Saturday, I had to take a time out.
Hey, Steve, you okay? It's my throat. It's all dry.
Hey, mine too.
I think I got just what you guys need. Come on.
It was a good thing Brad was there. He explained that we were thirsty, and he gave us ice-cold Bud Lights. He told us that by drinking the Bud Light, parched feeling would go away. You know what? He was right.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Call, be sure to dial in the center 1-800-CALL-ATT. Let's show 'em, gang! 1-800-CALL-ATT. Free for you and cheap for them. Watch this. Louder!
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Stuart Scott and the gang get you ready for Monday night. Monday Night Countdown, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Delivered by UPS.
ESPN2's College Football Saturday Night. Brought to you by Land Rover, the most well-traveled vehicles on Earth. And by Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Carolina's won the last two Gamecock Wildcat battles, 40-6 last year in Columbia, 20-17 here 2 years ago. Last year's margin, their biggest ever over an SEC opponent. But they've trailed since late in the first half, 10-3. They start from their 9-yard line. And in the gun is Jenkins. He'll keep after a nice fake and turns it into a big gainer. Jenkins will be out of bounds near the 40. Driven out by Tatum to pick up 24 yards.
This is just poor defense. You have a job of containment. Over to the right side of your screen, and the man just darted inside.
I think that was Sweet Pea. That was Vincent Burns.
That was
end
number
out
98.
there.
Vincent Burns decided to just take off and drive down inside. His job was to contain, unless there was a stunt where someone was supposed to replace him, and he allowed the long gain.
They marked him out at the 34. This time the handoff does go to Kerman. And let's hear from Matt Weiner.
Dave, we showed you Cal taking the big league on USC. Well, the Trojans are on the comeback. Carson Palmer, Mike Williams. Nobody can bring him down. He'll get into the end zone and cut the lead to 4. It's now 21-17 Bears.
So the Trojans showing some life. So are the Gamecocks here, the other USC.
I think Corey Jenkins' ankle is fine.
Yeah, I would say.
Wow, what a run.
Take it down at 8 after Dacus Kerman got 2. Jenkins. Target intercepted by Tatum. Tatum broke on it. Great read intended for Michael Agees. The senior out of Cleveland has the pick.
Great read, but Jenkins looked there the entire time from the snap. When you see he just absolutely looks right to his left, never takes his eyes off where he wants to go, makes it incredibly easy for Tatum, who baits him and breaks on it.
Now this look got 3 entires from going.
Yeah.
If you get 3 entires, that means you did not look off the safety. The corner was able to break on his eyes. Beautiful play by Tatum. Another bit of redemption since he gave up the long ball.
And another bit of good field position, although Lorenzen will go down again. And the Gamecocks have done a good job of game tackling when they have a chance to sack him. Down to Michelle.
You wonder what they're saying to J-Lo down there. Among all the nicknames they could be calling him, Hefty Lefty, goodness knows what he hears in the pile. But I had a chance to sit down with J-Lo yesterday and ask him which of those nicknames is his favorite.
I love Pillsbury Thoroughboy. I think that's very creative. I like Battleship. That's kind of cool. And J-Lo. I mean, I have 3 favorites. It's really hard to pick from me.
That's incomplete. Sims, the target, and it was not quite a backward pass.
I love
Battleship.
I love the Pillsbury Throwboy.
Yeah, some more thoughts.
Doesn't Bobby with J-Lo also have a street Jennifer Lopez?
That's why I like J-Lo. That's the main key why I like J-Lo. That's the good thing about that nickname. That's definitely why it's one of my favorites.
Oh, he likes it because the real J-Lo looks so nice.
I don't think anybody is going to confuse the two.
You do not look like the other J-Lo.
No, not at all. Never to be confused. And also not with Jared from Subway either. Well, on the run, juggled, and finally caught by Penny at the 40. You know what? The best thing about him is he, rather than trying to do away with that image and bristle at the role of the biggest quarterback, he embraces it. He wants to be known for that.
And look, the Pillsbury Throwboy, quite honestly, is my favorite. And what the interesting thing to me is Guy Morris, head coach, said, listen, we're not going to weigh in. We're not going to tell you what you have to be, but you better perform or you're going to find yourself on the bench. So it's up to Jared Lorenzen to make sure he's in shape and ready to play.
And lest he disbelieve, he got benched for 5 games last year, so he knows that Coach Morris will keep his word. And the only thing these guys really fear is the bench. Any of them.
He came back, finished the year with 5 straight 300-yard passing games. And obviously this year's picked up where he left off last year.
But no doubt, when you can go ahead and laugh at it, it's a great thing to do. Instead of fighting it, he just goes along with it. He has fun with it. And you know what? Bottom line is he's backing it up with his play on the field.
Well, we had a wonderful trainer with the Baltimore Colts, Dmitry Spasov, who used to say, most important commandment is not 10 commandments. Here's the
delay by the offense. Penalty of 5 yards from the previous spot.
Took to the delay on purpose. Took the delay on purpose, but Dimitri said most important commandment is don't take yourself too serious.
That's right.
Not 10th commandment, 13th commandment. Where he got that, I don't know.
Pakalak, you want to back up after you see him last one 62 yards. And this one will net him only 26 as it goes into the end zone 46. 5:12 to go in the third. Guy Morris and the Wildcats leading 10-3.
As the 2 men in her heart meet for the first time.
So you're Vaughn.
The parents she never knew may be meeting for the last.
I will kill you.
A New Alias, ABC Sunday.
On an all-new Beg, Borrow, and Deal, the race is on. Every second counts. Team Contact has major plans in the minor leagues.
They kind of played a few tricks on it.
While Team Kobe brews up some plans of their own.
Sweaters off, sweaters off.
Beg, Borrow, and Deal, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
Today we're going to see how a customer order turns into their perfect PC.
All the orders come in here. Don't forget the website. I mean, all the orders come in either here or the website.
I put it all together. Big old hard drive, extra memory for performance, CD burner. Don't touch that. Every machine's a custom job.
They call you the customizer?
No, they don't.
After testing, I pack it up and ship it out. An award-winning 24/7 service and support goes with it.
Happy trails, little buddy. Hope S. Jackson gives you a good home.
Get America's favorite PC, like this Dimension desktop for just $5.99 after a $50 instant savings, featuring an Intel Pentium 4 processor for awesome performance for today's digital entertainment, recording music, sharing photos, gaming, and beyond. Right now, you'll get a free digital camera. Get great deals on notebooks, too.
Dude, we're getting another Dell. Sweet.
When you want your perfect PC, it's easy as Dell. Dell PCs use Intel Pentium 4 processors.
Low-scoring game now as we move to 5:12 in the third. Still 10-3 Kentucky. And Carolina able to move the ball starting from the 20. Last promising drive ended with an easy interception by Derek Tatum. Like Mike Golick, outstanding football player out of Cleveland. Unlike Mike Golick, a two-time Cleveland Youth chess champion.
No, that wasn't me.
Derek Tatum.
Ain't no good at that game.
Fake to Pinnock. Short gain on the keeper. So when you're this deep in the game, you've held South Carolina to 3 points. You have played some impressive defense.
This Kentucky team, it used to be, you know, if they won, it was 45-42, 35-30. I mean, it was high-scoring games, but this defense is for real now. Guy Morris got him believing. John Goodner got him playing.
It really is a complete personality change, Bill. I mean, it is. I think people around the country still think of Kentucky as 60, 70 passes a game out of the spread. And, Mike, as you said, if they win despite giving up 40 points. That's not just Kentucky. Hanging one up deep and incomplete. Out of bounds for Mikhail Goodman. Let's go down to Michelle.
Well, after last year's 2-9 finish and facing probation, they knew that Kentucky knew they had to win with what they had. So defensive coordinator John Goodner took over the off-season workouts from January through spring practice, and he worked the team, what he says, harder than ever. In particular, weightlifting became an emphasis. And it says a lot that a coordinator took command of that program, doesn't it, Bill Curry?
It does indeed. Because the coordinator carries such weight with the players, they'll show up, they'll work harder when that full-time coach is in attendance. Here's a 3rd and 9. Overthrown badly. Horrible-looking pass intended for A.G.
Tell you what, when they've gone back in the pocket, though, there's been a lot of Kentucky defenders around the quarterback. Does look like he's able to set in there. Getting pressure again in the face.
This veteran offensive line, and especially up the middle with Robertson, having great trouble stopping that penetration. And, Mike, you said it so well. Quarterbacks do not want those people in their face or around their feet.
With Abney waiting for this kick around midfield. Look for Wildcat field position to, again, as it's been all night, to be terrific. Not bad coverage. On a man as dangerous as Derek Abney. The 44-yard punt, not bad either. Let's check in with Matt.
Earlier today, Dave, Arkansas at Auburn, and Fred Talley had a game. And Talley, not just his name, it was his mission. 80 yards here. Career high 244 yards rushing. Hogs run wild on Auburn, 38-17.
Boy, that just doesn't happen at Auburn. Arkansas coming off the 6 overtime loss in Tennessee.
Can you imagine the Suey Pigs in Auburn today?
Wow.
This is typical field position tonight for Kentucky. Over at their 40, and they'll start with a give for a couple to Pinnock. Monday Night Countdown, delivered by UPS, provides up-to-the-minute NFL news, comprehensive analysis, and live interviews. Stuart Scott, Tom Jackson, Ron Jaworski, Sterling Sharp, and Chris Mortensen. Get going at 7:30 Eastern. All the news from the best in the business, leading up to Monday Night Football with Al Michaels, John Madden, and the birth of a division rivalry as the 49ers visit the new stadium in Seattle. Jeff Garcia, Sean Alexander, Monday Night Football, 9 Eastern. Second down and 7. Lorenzen underneath Aaron Boone. Where's number 13? Was born on a Friday the 13th and came in tonight with 13 catches for the year. Not really what you call the triskaidekaphobic type.
And we talked about yards after catch. Michelle brought that up early, the amount of yards they get, over 800 yards.
coming into tonight.
Triskaidekaphobia being the fear of 13 as potential bad luck.
What's the fear of trying to say that word and butchering it? That's my fear.
Pinner, high for a first down. I've got to tell you, Pinner is a football player. The guy does it all. He goes up in there, and if he's got a nice hole, he explodes for a long game. If he has no hole, he makes one. He is a man. Watch him take on the tacklers here. If you're going to tackle me, you're going to pay. Nice job. He does have a little crease, but not much. Bunch of people hitting on him. Dragging him for the first down, 17 carries, 96 yards.
They're both pinball wizards tonight, Pinnock and Pinner. They've been strong. Pinner again inside the 45.
The thing with Pinner that's amazing, Kent comes into the game leading receiver as well as a leading rusher, and the receptions he makes, if you see him run up the middle, the receptions, it's just like a sweep. They get him the quick shot right out to the side. It's just like a long running game the way they throw to him. They get the ball quickly in his hands out in space, and it's just like a sweep. It's not like he runs out for long routes or a lot of times even short routes. It's just a little swing passes.
He and not Lorenzen was the #1 defensive priority for Charlie Strong. Lorenzen gets that one out to Cook and hit immediately by DeAndre Island.
The big guy can be taken down, but it is not easy to do.
Go around his feet.
Well, you know what? That was smart. He sensed that pressure at his feet. He just leaped backwards to keep from having his foot planted.
It is smart. You're right.
I think the most impressive thing about Lorenzen is his mind, his quick wit, the way he thinks on the field, the way he thinks on his feet now as a player.
5 out of 11 on third down. They just need one here. Rodney went in motion. And they did not wrap up. Pinner, the marker is down. Island chasing Pinner. Knocked out inside the 10. Dante Robinson saves 6. It's 29 yards if the play stands.
Probably not going to stand. It's going to come back. But that was just like we've seen all night. Pinner just hides behind that offensive line and waits for the crease to develop, and then he hits it. But all for now. Watch him just hang out. I'm going to stop it again just where you see him hiding back there. It's fantastic. He just tucks right in. Boom, boom, stays there, and he'll wait for the crease. Excellent job of the O-line staying on the block. Unfortunately, one of them cheated and held.
Now, there's just a slight hole.
Oh, yeah. You see that jersey going again, yeah.
Got a piece of that jersey. Who is that?
Jeremiah Drobny.
Jeremiah Drobny again.
Yeah, he got called.
Second time for Jeremiah. That's deadly stuff. Drive killers. Instead of a first down inside the 20, they're way back almost at midfield.
Where do his hands need to be, Bill?
Inside the plane of the body, big fella.
And in effect, a 41-yard penalty. 3rd and 11. Lorenzen almost intercepted, intended for Ernest Sims, and it probably should have been picked off at the 30-yard line. It went right into Island's hand.
And the same problem that has plagued this Kentucky team, the one thing that excellent coaching usually takes care of that has not happened with this Kentucky team is eliminating the foolish penalties.
They've only had 4 penalties tonight, and that's an improvement, but they've not been timely at all. Brewer with a fair catch, and again South Carolina with horrible field position. 36 on the kick by Pakalak. I want to salute the Marines assigned to Camp Fuji, Japan, watching our telecast on the American Forces Network, including the men and women of Headquarters Battalion, who provide training support for Marines stationed throughout Japan. Hope you're enjoying it from Lexington. One of the better facilities anywhere in college football. When it's packed like tonight, 70,000, Commonwealth Stadium. Almost all happy at the moment. 10-3, and Carolina backed up again. Short keeper for maybe 3 yards. And Jenkins again paying a pretty heavy price every time he's kept it. That time Jeremy Caudle blasted it.
So Jenkins is being deployed like a running back. They're at the line of scrimmage, so won't have but a second to talk here. He's taking a heck of a physical beating in addition to having to do all the thinking and throwing. I think it's hurting his throwing. I really do.
might have the final play of the third quarter here. They go without a huddle. And again, straight keeper. Wrapped up again by Dwayne Robertson.
Now, Mike, those guys that are hitting him are the big guys. They're the defensive tackles.
Yeah, I don't understand this play calling. They're trying it again up the middle with these guys. It's just not working. These D tackles are too good. They're trying to run up the gut, not even quick hitters.
Nobody's blocked them all year.
And into the end of the third quarter, they're on their feet in Lexington with a bid to go 5-1 and win more than they did the last 2 years combined if they can hang on to the 7-point lead.
Watch Monday Night Countdown, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, delivered by UPS.
A new, more powerful V8 engine. More distinctive styling. 368 improvements in all. The new 2003 Discovery. It's a whole new way to see the world. From Land Rover, the most well-traveled vehicles on Earth. Nicely equipped from $399 a month. Complimentary scheduled maintenance included.
Don't you wish Bounty made napkins? Well, guess what? Bounty quilted napkins are finally here. The stronger, longer-lasting napkin. Bounty.
Yo, me, where's the dip?
Only Tostitos Scoops have the bite-sized bowl-shaped design that's perfect for dipping and dunking every time.
I thought that was a myth.
So however you like to dip, there's only one Dip Lovers chip.
I own this court. Yeah. No, I really own this court. You guys got to go.
Tostitos Scoops, the Dip Lovers chip.
No matter how they turn the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.
Okay. All right. You can be St. Louis, and I'll be Detroit.
So happy together.
There's a place where I get my favorite Italian sauces, with all kinds of pastas, plus unlimited salad and breadsticks. Sounds like Mom's house, but it's Olive Garden and their never-ending pasta bowl for $7.95. Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
From John Woo, director of Mission Impossible 2 and Face Off, starring Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage.
My responsibility!
A full-throttle, heart-pounding action thriller. Wind Talkers. Buy or rent it Tuesday.
We begin the fourth quarter with a 3rd and 9 facing the Gamecocks from their own 12-yard line. They trail 10-3. Trouble all night moving the ball. Jenkins gets this underneath for A.G.'s. He'll fight his way out for a big gainer and a foot race. A.G.'s caught finally at the 30 by Claude Segal, but not before a 57-yard catch and run. They've had a 58-yarder to Troy Williamson, now a 57-yarder to Michael A.G.'s, and that's just about the sum total of the Carolina passing game tonight.
And we've talked about the Kentucky linemen getting out to block on the screens. Excellent job now by the South Carolina lineman, especially Shane Hall, 71. And A.G. turns on the speed and excellent security of the football at the end of the run. Very good fundamental football.
Senior out of Rex, Georgia, who waited his turn and has taken advantage this final year in the program. So the Gamecocks in business. But Jenkins wants to use the timeout.
Yeah, he was looking over at the sidelines to see if there was going to be an adjustment to the play as the play clock was running down. He kept looking over to the sidelines at Skip Holtz, standing next to his dad. They're behind his dad right now. There's Skip. Corey was seeing if they wanted to get out of it, kept looking over there for help. Look, he's looking over. looking at the play clock, looking back over.
What the signal he's giving means, please hurry. I need the play. Give me the play. And then what happens when you get confused on the sideline, and fans ever figured out how much confusion occurs between the coaches and the field, they would probably fire everybody, but it happens, even to the smartest, and the Holtzes are among the brightest in all of football, and that time they couldn't get it together.
ESPN2 Game Track through 3 quarters. Any dose of Lorenzen's heavy. And that was the big play so far of the night. A touchdown pass to Cook. Defense has been terrific with the exception of the 2 long gainers. Jenkins has had no field position to work with. Battled the ankle and swarming Wildcat D all night.
And with all that, South Carolina trying to put themselves in a position to tie it up.
Kentucky has played excellent defense this year, but a stat that jumped out at me prior to the game, they give up 15 yards per catch to the opposition passing game. That means that there are a lot of big plays breaking, and 2 of those have occurred tonight to put South Carolina right back in this game.
Jenkins has 4 completions for 139 yards. You do the math. Reverse Agee. Agee down near the 10-yard line. Driven down by Quintus Cumbie, 19 yards.
Fundamental defense involves contain. Somebody has the responsibility to stay at home. Right over here to the right up top. Okay, right up here, somebody, Claude Segal, should have been staying at home. Instead, he ducks down inside and gets beat to the corner.
1st and 10 at the 12. Jenkins keeping. And inside the 10. Like the South Carolina offense has had an infusion, all 11 of them, of a completely different attitude. Ever since the second big pass of the night, Michael Agee is a completely different look in terms of body language, in terms of the obvious adrenaline.
They're energized, and they're 18 out of 26 with only 12 touchdowns out of 26 opportunities in the red zone this year. So they're not operating very efficiently in this part of the field in a general sense.
Full house. Jenkins faking, keeping, breaking a tackle, and then fumbling into the end zone. Who's at the bottom of the scramble?
I think they might have got it. I think a lineman may have gotten on it. I guarantee you.
It may change hands 3 times.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Dave. There's a lot going on in that pile that you don't want to know about.
In the bottom of that pile is a real ugly place, folks. There's no place for the faint of heart down there.
We've both been there, Bill.
Oh, yes.
And still waiting for an indication. Well, touchdown.
Yeah, I think one of the big linemen got on the ball.
I think Watts Sanderson won the wrestling match.
Now, South Carolina goes back to misdirection on that play. We'll show it to you when we get a chance. And this time, contain is achieved on the backside.
But no tackle made.
No tackle made. David Johnson has the opportunity. Okay, turn it back inside. David Johnson gets it turned back inside. And then somebody's got to be coming inside out to make the hit. And if he fumbles the ball, somebody's supposed to fall on it. But just a gut check down there.
Daniel Weaver to tie it. 10-10.
Well.
So this game has become a gut check.
This is these old linemen hustling in. You see the fumble. They're down there blocking. They're down there gutting it out as well. Seeing their quarterback try to get in. You see him lose the ball. The big 300-pounder in Sanderson. He goes in diving for it.
Boy, Derek Tatum had first crack.
Yes, he did.
Antoine Huffman had him dead to rights. All he's got to do is get a piece of him rather than dive on the ground.
Watch Tatum, 21, coming here for Kentucky. He's got this ball dead. Oh, there's someone getting in the way. And then big old Watts Sanderson dives on it. Covers it up with his 300 pounds. Ain't nobody going to get it.
Both these programs are well coached. We practice fumble recovery every day, believe it or not. And there's a way to curl around the ball try not to lay out, but then you get in a hurry and you forget your fundamentals, and what you really ought to do is get in a fetal position, curl around the ball, and end up with it in your stomach.
Hey, Michelle, what's the controversy down there?
Well, Guy Morris and his staff arguing with the officials down here that you cannot fumble the ball forward on 4th down, and if you do, the quarterback has to cover it. But these officials disagreeing with Guy Morris. That's the story down here. They fought adamantly but got nothing out of it.
Well, it wasn't 4th down.
It was not 4th down. That's the problem. If it's 4th down, they're right.
Michelle, you go tell them it wasn't 4th down.
I don't want to be the one to tell them that right now.
Take that bat with you when you go.
Yeah.
Or write it on a piece of paper and hand it to them and run.
Andy Rooney'd be impressed if you did.
Yeah, well, I'm not aiming for that, Dave.
In the second half, a lifeless Carolina offense has dominated Kentucky. Abney to the 30 of a second with Matt Weiner.
Dave, as we showed you earlier, USC dug themselves a hole. They've gone about the business of digging out ever since. Michael Wagner with the touchdown puts the Trojans back on top, 24-21. Meanwhile, we saw Rex Grossman get picked for a touchdown. Gets a little revenge here in the second quarter. Taylor Jake, 2 outs on the other end of his scoring strike. Just the second touchdown pass allowed by LSU at 13-7.
10-10 game in the second half. South Carolina, 176 total yards. Kentucky, only 36. Kentucky led 10-0. New game. That one's batted down to the line of scrimmage by Dennis Quinn. And we were told he was doubtful. He would suit up, try to go a few snaps. And Dennis Quinn, who sprained his left ankle in their last game against Mississippi State, gets that one batted down. Rain about an hour before the game didn't keep 70,547 from filling Commonwealth Stadium. It was a pretty good downpour, too, for quite a while.
They hung out in the concourse for a while till it stopped.
But I think, as advertised, this field has drained well enough that I don't think we've had any footing questions at all in the second half. He splits in the first. Lorenzen tosses to Penner. Archie Penner's had a huge night. And a flag down as he's knocked out at the 35. Dante Robinson gets the hit.
Looked like a clip on Aaron Boone. That 13 did backfire on him a little bit.
You get an end run and the side judge throwing a flag, it's usually going to be against the offense.
End run. I hadn't heard that term in a long time.
Run around the end.
We're not done on ESPN2. When this one's over, our triple header winds up out west with BYU at undefeated 19th ranked Air Force. And you can't get a greater offensive contrast than BYU and
and you can't get greater fun than to watch those two play.
Fun. Let me tell you what.
Unless it would be Notre Dame versus Air Force.
Yeah, that's going to be next week. And I had my games against Air Force when I was at Notre Dame, and it was anything but fun when they triple option you to death. They can do it.
Those two head-to-head next week. Notre Dame will go in undefeated. We'll find out later tonight if Air Force can match it. Second down and 20. Lorenzen with another give to Penner. He's over 100 yards now on his 19th carry. And right at 104.
Now, Dave, you noticed it first, but just the way the South Carolina team is conducting itself, the way they're running on and off the field, the way they're holding their bodies. I saw Mike McGee, the outstanding athletic director at South Carolina and a dear friend of mine. I saw him at the half. He and his lovely wife, Ginger, he said, you watch the second half, we'll play better. Man, was he right.
They've been on adrenaline IVs. Totally different team. They've got them looking at 3rd and 18 now. Lorenzen to Penner. Right there on him. Preston Thorpe. Ball is loose. Touchdown Antonio Hall. And they're going to wave that one dead.
Yeah.
Good.
Toos, I've been bragging on you, man.
What?
Don't do that. That was a very serious mistake. That is what the coaches hope at Kentucky is that that's not a demonstration of a loss of poise by the whole team. They got to get themselves back on the sideline and just think about what we do when we get ourselves in trouble. We get on the ground, take our loss, and punt the ball.
Boy, how can Guy Morris look so calm? They've got some sorting out to do because they've brought the ball forward about 5 yards from where that play ended.
But let's think about what we've seen the second half. We've seen missed tackles. We've seen serious mistakes in the penalty game. Now we're seeing a lack of poise by one of the guys that's one of the best football players, I think, in the conference.
He's trying to throw it. He was trying to throw it back to Jared Lorenzen.
Well, he missed.
Yeah, I would say so.
Brent Pease has never drawn
Foul is
that
an illegal
play.
pass by the offense. Penalty is 5 yards from the following spot, followed by a loss of down.
Yeah, that play was so ugly it deserved a flag.
Well, it must have been a forward pass because if it's a backward pass,
well, it wasn't.
That's an incorrect call.
You're right. It was a forward pass, though, Billy. Threw it forward.
Was it forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
if it was forward, that was a correct call.
Well, Charlie Strong knew.
Threw it to a lineman, and the officials were right on it, and it was a nice call.
Pakalak could use another 62-yarder, standing at his own goal line. Another marker down. Another big punt. Thomas.
Stuck immediately. And a very obvious push in the back on Cook by our man Ryan Brewer. Surprising mistake by 21, but he didn't get caught that time.
53-yard punt this time by Pakalak, the all-time Kentucky punting leader for a career.
It's offside on Kentucky. South Carolina, you take the 5 yards and punt it again?
Make them punt it again, absolutely.
Well, no, it was offside on
Foul
Kentucky.
is offside by the defense.
I was declined, that's right, yeah.
First down.
Yeah, I wouldn't think South Carolina would want to punt that one again.
Lou Holton, a tie game at 11:39 remaining. And for one of the few times tonight, the Gamecocks will have excellent field position. They try to take their first lead.
Old Navy painter's pants are one of a kind.
A better price you'd be hard-pressed to find.
Quality construction. That's our guarantee.
Old Navy painters.
You're the pants for me.
The price
is nice.
he'll wear.
This pair.
Wow, they're just $15 to $20 for men and boys.
Old Navy, we are there.
Bottled water getting expensive. Try pure filtered water. Just as good as bottled at a price that's 10 times less. Doesn't that sound better? Pure water filters. Your water should be pure.
Number one.
Want to see the pros do it for real? Win a trip from Castrol to the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl. Go to AutoZone for details.
Yes, who?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Storm.
The dreaded telemarketer.
It's Strom.
Telemarketers got your number? Get the Telezapper, and soon those annoying calls will just about stop altogether. Available at stores everywhere.
Right now, when you buy 4 selected Goodyear tires, you'll get a $50 U.S. savings bond. But you better hurry. This offer is going fast. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR for a store near you. Or visit a participating retailer where Goodyear tires are sold.
Taco Bell's grilled steak taco tastes so authentic, you may pull a grilled steak switch out.
So you like carne asada steak?
Yeah.
Great. Got some out on the grill.
The grilled steak taco. Tender slices of steak marinated in Mexican spices and grilled to perfection. For a taste that's irresistible. For authentic carne asada steak, think outside the bun.
Thursday midnight, latest series from ESPN Original Entertainment, the season SEC football. And the subject this week has been the Kentucky Wildcats as they prepared for this game against the Gamecocks. And the crew was in the offices as we were chatting with the Kentucky coaching staff. Or Mike was, anyway. The only one that had a microphone.
Well,
you'll hear from him.
Guys
to Brent Pease. The offensive coordinator. That's going to be a very interesting show. Thursdays at midnight this season. 1st and 10. Gamecocks 35-yard line. And they'll drop 4. Jenkins run down from behind by Robertson. An update from Matt Weiner.
Dave Ames, Iowa is the place for what we thought was going to be a quarterback shootout. Hasn't really materialized. 3-3, and then watch this. Seneca Wallace is way back at his 30. Down the right side. Here he goes. Down the left side. He'll score eventually. 6th rushing touchdown this year. The Cyclones are up 10-3.
We have not seen a better player in the country.
That's my Heisman guy.
Mine, I'm right with you, Bill.
Jenkins, 2nd and 13, and complete to Troy Williams into the 42.
That's a pressure throw by a veteran quarterback. Nice job. Jenkins steps up, delivers the football on rhythm. You can't defense that in that defense.
But how few times have we seen that tonight?
Well, I think we're going to see some more of it because this guy's capable of it, and he is a gutsy guy. He got run down from behind by big Dwayne Robertson on the previous play. Now he's got to try to convert once again against this tough defense.
Crowd's been electric all night for Kentucky. They're on their feet for 3rd and 4. Shooting all the way, Jenkins, and with the second effort, he'll have a first down. They had him 2 yards shy. He turned his back, kept his legs going, and the chains will keep moving.
Ronnie Riley, the linebacker, number 8, had his shot. He had him stop dead to rights. You'll see him in here with the hit. But watch Jenkins' legs. He just keeps going. There's the hit by Jenkins. He keeps pumping the legs, spins, and goes in backwards and moves the chains. Got to wrap up, Riley.
Those yak yards after contact, right, hurting Kentucky tonight, not yards after catch. They're not tackling well.
Jenkins out of the Red Sox and White Sox minor league system, former first-round pick by the Boston Red Sox, and then decided to go back to football. Pennick, who has been forgotten man in the second half. Pretty good first half for him. We've hardly seen him at all since halftime.
Morris Lane getting up there, slapping his D-line. You know, you always got to tell that big guys where to line up. They say, line up here and go straight ahead. Linebacker does, directs that traffic on the D-line.
8 carry, 61 yards for Andrew Pennick. Jenkins taking short and looks up. There's Brewer. Hangs on despite being blasted by Cumbie. And good for 18 yards.
And now the South Carolina fans with their Brew, yeah.
There are 500 Ryan Brewer fans from Troy, Ohio here tonight.
I'll tell you, the fake on that bubble screen again and taking it deep. Well, I'll tell you what, Cumbie takes a shot at the ball. Instead of the hit, he might have a chance for it.
Brewer's mom bought 500 tickets, and the demand was such he could have sold twice that many. Loose on the pitch, picked up by Kerman, but he'll have a big loss to absorb.
Mike, one of your pet peeves in football is running a little bit of option.
Yep.
South Carolina does that and does not execute it very well. Ryan Brewer, what can you say about this guy? He makes plays all over the field. He even made a tackle earlier on a special team on a fake punt situation. Just keeps his team in the game.
Second down, 15. Jenkins well protected. Going deep, defender falls down. Williamson with the catch inside the 5. They'll mark him out at the 6. 32 yards.
The out and up. They tried it earlier in the game. Here it goes again. Antoine Huffman fell down. Is that foot in?
Whoa. It's in by an inch.
Yes, it is. There's the slip by Huffman. Can't recover in time. Great job getting that foot down.
This gritty South Carolina team is just about to take the momentum from the guys in blue in their own home stadium.
First down and goal. 3 catches, 101 yards for Williamson. Brewer lined up from the backfield. Scores! South Carolina in front for the first time tonight.
Let me tell you how amazing this is, guys. This Kentucky defense, the entire year, has given up 16 points in the fourth quarter. They're about to give up their 14th in this game alone. Full house backfield. Brewer's the last man to get it. And doesn't even get hit till the goal line.
Just a little fold action. Beautiful job by Nashawn Goddard, the center, on the block back, and a nice pull through by Cedric Williams, number 76, the left guard.
15th carry of the year, 3rd touchdown when they get Brewer in that backfield, and Weaver misses wide right.
That's 13 points they've given up in the fourth quarter.
So the hole is there for Kentucky now. If they can match the touchdown, they're a PAT away from regaining the lead that Brewer just gave Carolina. Down 10-0 at the half. Lou Holtz making his usual adjustments at halftime and bringing Carolina back. They're a new team.
In Wendy's hometown, yoga class attendance is down, and the aromatherapy center is no more. But Wendy's is packed because our mozzarella chicken supreme, a whole breast filet mozzarella and Parmesan sauce is so delicious, it's taking people to that higher level. And finally, the clothing optional run through the wildflowers has been canceled. Thank goodness. Wendy's mozzarella chicken supreme, it's better here. And remember, our pickup window's open till midnight or later, so you can eat great even late.
You're not ordinary. You're not average. You're something special.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. This is the Bowflex Power Pro. Quite possibly the most effective home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 60 health club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. You can own a Bowflex with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Call and ask for a free video and brochure, and check out the entire Bowflex lineup, or visit us on the web today. Redefine your body with Bowflex.
ESPN2's College Football Saturday Night, brought to you by Wendy's Late Night Pickup Window, where you can eat great, even late.
Well, while Kentucky's offense was on the bench watching South Carolina score, Kentucky offensive coordinator Brent Pease was giving his guys quite a talking to. He said, look, we're giving them this game. We're not making smart decisions. That's when Jared Lorenzen chimed in. He said, whatever we did in the first quarter, we got to get back to doing that. And Aaron Boone said, we can't go a whole half without scoring. But, Dave, one thing they're missing, tight end Chase Harp. He's out of this game with a right ankle injury. Back up to you.
They have had almost no offense, and they have not stopped the South Carolina offense in the second half. You're not going to believe the total yardage difference. This return for Kentucky is going to come out around the 24-yard line. Arliss Beach.
Really smart thing by Coach Lou Holtz and his staff. The ball was kicked away from Abney by design. Absolutely the right thing to do. You don't let number 12 beat you in the kicking game.
88-yard drive. And in the second half now, South Carolina 242 total yards. Kentucky 33.
That is amazing.
Lorenzen, 4 out of 9, 12 yards passing in the second half. Hit his first 11 in a row to start the game. Most of the completions have been short like this one. Penner manages to get 7 out of it. Let's go to Matt Weiner.
Dave, now that quarterback shootout is starting to materialize in Ames, Iowa. 10-3 Cyclones up, and that noted running quarterback Cliff Kingsbury plunges over for the touchdown. We're tied up at 10 in the first quarter.
Well, Peck coming off 48-47 at Texas A&M. So, of course, that game's 3-3 most of the night. And now 10-10. This one's 16-10 on 2nd and 2. Penner slips at the line of scrimmage. He ESPN Monday Night Countdown, delivered by UPS. All the news from Stuart Scott, Tom Jackson, Jaws, Sterling Sharp, Chris Mortensen. That's at 7:30 Eastern. And then Monday Night Football, our matchup this week from the new stadium in Seattle, the 49ers and Seahawks at 9 Eastern. Jeff Garcia, Terrell Owens, Sean Alexander with Al Michaels and John Madden. Monday Night Football, 3rd and 1. Penner gets the call again, should have enough for the first down.
I tell you what, though, they were in that backfield again. He was tripped up in the backfield that time. 91 Mo Thompson, a true freshman, got a hand on his foot. Almost came up with a big play.
Well, we haven't seen either one of these backs, Penner or Pinnock, get tackled behind the line much, if at all tonight. They are north-south forward guys.
Just the second first down of the second half for Kentucky. Lorenzen. Nowhere to go. And has to throw it away. Here's man with Sims.
First time tonight I've seen Lorenzen lose his poise. The protection was perfect. All he had to do was stand in there and let his route develop. He panicked. He started to run, realized there was nobody around him, and then came to his senses, stood up, and got rid of the football.
South Carolina figuring out what they're doing as well. They're sending the receivers out as Kentucky, and then Pinner is just going out in the flat and waiting to be the check-down guy. South Carolina is putting a guy out on Pinner, and it's no longer there as a final option for Lorenzen. He has to pull it down.
High formation and under center this time. And the draw for Pinner. Mo Thompson has him again. And they'll only get 2. So they just got their second half first down. Now they need 8 to keep the drive going, and the clock is still going, down to 5:42.
Charlie Strong's defense, he's going with a combination of blitzes, zone blitzes, man, and some matchup zone, and he's got Lorenzen thinking an awful lot, and they've been able to shut him down in the second half for the most part.
3 wideouts right. And Lorenzen scrambling away from Thompson. Now lets one go. Up for grabs. Pulled down by Boone. Inbound. Oh, amazing.
Let's see now. Would that be Hail Mary or touchdown Jesus or...
First, it's Lorenzen getting away from the rush this time and then just heaving it up. And look at Boone. Talk about getting the ball at its highest point. Mr. Boone won and got the feet down.
Just another well-executed passing play. I think I'll just chunk it up there and pray. Even got in a prayerful position.
Probably no chance he saw Boone pull that one down. From flat on his back. Play fake. Looks deep middle for Abney and overthrown. Abney covered well by Dante Robinson. Well, plays like that win games like this.
What happens when you start to lose your poise just a little bit, and this is what Lorenzen has not done this year, is that your mechanics begin to slip. He's not stepping forward into his throw. He's falling back off his throw, and it is not an accurate. I don't know if he intended to throw it away, but he's not throwing the football in the precise manner that he did in the first half and had heretofore in this whole season.
Not one of his more productive evenings, although it started out that way. Pinner with room. Gashed him down to the 27. Wrapped up by Preston Thorne.
Now, in order to win this game, Lorenzen, Mike, has got to step up, step into his throws, and get his accuracy back.
And get those routes again that they had. Running the deep routes, running the crossing routes. We haven't seen it, or they haven't completed it this half like we've seen it in the first half because of the coverage by South Carolina as our pinball rushers.
And not much of a panic at all in the second half. 3rd and 4. Fakes to Pinner. Lorenzen steps away from a pure sack and has a first down. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, this is a 300-pound quarterback who, when he knows somebody's on his tail, suddenly turns into a 4-2 sprinter.
I think they should change the nickname from Battleship to Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is a real big battleship.
Well, let me tell you what, he should have to have a horn on him. You can't be this big running down the field and not give some kind of warning you're coming.
Wow. Jameisha Jackson is still wondering where the big fella went. Number 16 had him dead to rights on the safety blitz. Nobody to pick up the safety blitz, and he just couldn't come down with the elusive battleship.
First time out, Kentucky, 4:20 to go.
Consider this. New Shell gasoline is specially formulated to help prevent deposits in your engine. And a clean engine performs better. Is it any wonder, then, why so many drivers choose Shell?
Guess who? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Storm.
The dreaded telemarketer.
It's Strom.
Telemarketer's got your number? Get the Telezapper. And soon those annoying calls will just about stop altogether. Available at stores everywhere.
Hi, I'm Emmett.
And I'm not.
We may not look it.
But we're a lot alike.
We both like giving back to the community.
And we're both considered quite stylish.
And we both believe that phone service should be simple.
Oh, yeah, like 10-10-220.
It's cheap, whether you use it a little or a lot.
99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes.
And there are no monthly commitments.
So you only pay for the calls you make. So, what do you think of the shirt?
Too loud.
What do you think of the shirt?
Dial 10-10-220.
Kentucky trailing by just 6, and Jared Lorenzen is a father of a 2.5-month-old daughter, Taylor, who our Dave Barnett has nicknamed Halo, and why not? And Jared Lorenzen gave us the early scouting report on his little girl.
She has my nose, she has my hands and my feet, which is good because no female should have to look like me. I mean, she's got my nose, which is good. Hopefully she'll be tall. But my hands and my feet, she can catch probably, and she can run. Hopefully that's what I can give her.
What a legacy. I hope she gets his sense of humor.
Breaking down her vitals, the hands and feet, breaking it down like an athlete.
That's a pretty complete scouting report on a 2.5-month-old girl. First and 10 of the 18. Pinner cuts it down. And down at the 15. Both teams 2 timeouts. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
You watch a Lou Holtz team come out the second half and look like they just transformed and put another bunch of guys in those uniforms. I look through the press guide, and they have a category where they interview the players and say, who's the biggest celebrity you've ever met? 6 of them said Lou Holtz. I'm serious.
He's got that kind of presence.
They just believe in him. He's the man. You're the man, Lou.
In that, a number of places. 6 different programs to bowls, 4 to top 20 finishes, including this one a year ago. Dragged down inside the 10 by Jonathan Martin. Very close. Maybe close enough for a measurement. I think he's about a foot short there.
Yeah, he's a little short, but you like 3rd and half a yard, no doubt about it. Nice play call. Get the ball out quick into the hands of those guys that can make the play.
You also like to have number 20 in your backfield when it's 3rd and short. Be a wonderful time for Kentucky right here to run the play action and throw it in the end zone. I guarantee you South Carolina's linebackers will be up there hunting for number 20, Mr. Pinner.
2 tight ends, only wide out Abney. Sneaking for 1st and goal, Lorenzen.
Let's see, Pinner weighs 220, Jared weighs about 300, and he's closer to the 1st down. Probably a smart move, huh, Bill?
I love Jared's description of a quarterback sneak when he landed on his center, and his center kind of pulled him for an extra yard or 2. Nick Sykes, he said, we just kind of laid there, and I said, thanks. He said, you're welcome. And that's the most civil conversation that ever happened at the bottom of one of those piles.
Even with teammates.
But look at that. Nice job by Sykes coming off the ball, clearing the way. Good body lean.
Kentucky 1st and goal. 2.5 minutes. pump fake. Now the fade to the corner of the end zone. It's caught out of bounds by Glenn Holt.
Bear in mind, this is the #1 team in America at scoring inside the 20-yard line, #1. And when we asked the offensive coordinator, Brent Peace, why they were so effective, he said, we put our big receivers in and we throw those fades. We're 3 for 3 this year. Well, they're now 3 for 4 because it's just off ever so slightly.
Yeah, he pump faked, but Dante Robinson for South Carolina did not get fooled.
1 out of 2 in the blue zone, as Kentucky calls it tonight. 20 of 22 for the year. Penner for a couple at best, and here comes 3rd and goal at the 6.
Gut check, both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Good one there by Langston Moore. He made some initial penetration. Defense swarming.
I asked Nick Seitz about Langston Moore in the notes this week from Kentucky, and he said the guy is an animal. He's just an animal. Pressure's on Brent Peace right here to make the right call. This is obviously critical. We don't even have to say it.
You've got to go 2 plays for the end zone, I would think. You can't go 2 field goals, not with under 2 minutes to go.
You got to score the touchdown.
On this drive, they've converted 4 third downs already. With time, Lorenzen to Cook for his hand. Cook had position on Robinson.
Robinson fell down. Cook had the touch. Lorenzen just a little off, just ever so slightly this half. Not quite the same ball. This is a little too tall for Cook. His defender's lying on the ground. All he had to do is feather it in there, leading him to the outside. An easy touchdown. Love to have that one back.
Abney and Cook coming off the field for 4th down and goal.
Well, Glenn Holt just came in, the freshman. He's 6'2". There's your big receivers in the blue zone.
Doing the other wideout. Offset eye. Lorenzen for Boone. Fell down. There will not be a flag. Lost his footing just as he made his cut in the end zone.
All night long, we've talked about the football field. And you can talk about reputation and all the fancy scientific systems, but the drainage didn't work well enough for the Kentucky Wildcats tonight.
Went back for the exact same play.
You think Daniel Weaver wasn't interested in that 4th down play? He missed the last extra point for Carolina. Big sigh of relief.
Yeah, that was a sort of a mild yay.
So now minute 28 and 2 timeouts. Full half backfield, making sneaking. This game, with the timeout called out, minute 25. 1 left for the Wildcats, who led 10-0. They had completely squashed South Carolina's passing game in particular at the half. And in the second half, mainly on a couple of long passes from Jenkins to Williamson and Agee, South Carolina has sprung from 10-0 to 16-10 up.
Lee Corso, future sportscaster star.
Kirk, you can take the helmet off.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you're ready.
I'll get it. Mind if I stand? Yo. Testing. 1, 2, 3. You guys getting this? Or what?
Send in your 1-minute audition tape to the Discover Card Gets You on Game Day Challenge. If you win, you'll appear on College Game Day and go to the BCS National Championship. Visit your local Best Buy for details. And when you're at Best Buy, use your Discover Card. You'll earn a cashback bonus award and automatically be entered for a chance to win college football and home entertainment prizes. Just another way it pays to discover.
Reviewing our last fiscal year, the numbers from January were slightly better than the numbers from February. However, the numbers in January were identical to the numbers in March. The numbers in April were slightly lower than the numbers in March, but identical.
Like playing games?
Come to Best Buy, where you can play the latest video games and try out a lot of other cool stuff. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
Kentucky led this game 10-3 coming into the fourth quarter. 2 touchdowns, 1 extra point for Carolina, putting them up. We want to greet the men and women serving the U.S. Navy Allied Forces in Southern Europe in Naples, Italy, watching us tonight on the American Forces Network.
Got to see a good one.
Yep. I hope we provide just a little entertainment for those wonderful folks to whom we owe everything.
Yes, we do. One more timeout for Kentucky. And they'll go shotgun on 2nd and 9.
And guess what? They're running the ball. They need to make a first down.
Here's the last timeout with 1:20. And they do need to get at least one more first down.
They had to make a first down, and if Kentucky can make them punt the ball, they got that Tasmanian devil, number 12, back there to catch it. And I'm telling you, it's no preconceived thing that you're going to get him on the ground.
Well, we've been watching Lou Holtz work his magic for a long, long time. And he can tie Woody Hayes, his former boss. Started with William and Mary and then NC State, really where he started to make his reputation. One ill-fated year with the Jets.
Forget about that.
Right back to the college ranks. And Arkansas, followed by Minnesota, and then Notre Dame, which produced the national title in '88. From 99, 0, and 11 to back-to-back Outback wins at South Carolina. Nobody else has done. 6 different programs to bowls, 4 finishing in the top 20.
He's still getting that workout up and down the sideline, and he's brought a very wounded South Carolina Gamecock team into a hostile stadium with a team that's been playing extremely good football, a team that's played hard tonight, and he's taught his players how to exploit mistakes, and they've got themselves in position to win, but they hadn't finished the job by any stretch of the imagination.
And he says in this, his 31st year as a head coach, he's more involved on the field in practice than he's ever been in his life. And tonight, some of the fruits of that labor, if they can just hang on. They need 3rd and 8 here first.
One-on-one coverage out here.
No way. You know they're running the throw.
Williamson against Tatum if they throw it. They will keep it on the ground, and Jenkins with 1:16 as the Wildcats tell everybody, hurry up, get off the ground, make them line up and punt it as fast as possible.
Now that's coaching. Getting up off the ground quickly. The official marks the ball sooner. Now there's going to be a change of possession. You got to hustle off the field.
Don't you kick it as far away from Abney as you humanly can?
Well, right now Kentucky's got confusion, and they need to end up with 11 people on the field. That's their biggest problem. They have no more timeouts. I'll promise you somebody's frantically counting to be sure that they have 11 and not 10 or 12.
South Carolina's going to call a timeout here. They let the clock run down as far as they could.
Well, they got a flag.
Actually took the delay of game.
Well, that was a mistake.
You want to do that close to your own goal line?
No way.
You do not.
No way do you take that.
Ball, delay by the offense. Penalty 5 yards from the previous spot.
Let me tell you why this is a terrible mistake. Normal punt distance is 15 yards. The punter's standing at 14. So whether there's a block or whether there's a desire to hold up the punt team coverage, the advantage goes to Kentucky. A huge advantage from the mistake of the penalty.
They've blocked 3 kicks this year, all at Florida. And he's going to take the safety. Tyler Dean takes the safety, 16-12, 33 seconds.
When you have a 6-point lead, that means you now kick a free kick from the 20-yard line. The other team cannot tie you with a field goal. If you have less than a 6-point lead, then you don't take that safety.
Will Jackson has holding on Carolina.
Foul is holding against the offense in the end zone. The play results in a touchback. Excuse me, a safety.
Now, I'm going to confess something as an analyst. When Coach Holtz, as smart as he is, took that delay, I should have known exactly what he was about to do, because it's common knowledge, common wisdom among head coaches that you got a 6-point lead in a situation like that, you take the safety. So he took as much time as possible, let him walk it back to the 4-yard line, which put his punter at the back of the end zone, which is where you wanted him in the first place. You tell your guys, grab them so you'll be called for holding, and then you punt the ball from the 20-yard line and see if Abney can run 80 yards instead of 45.
I was trying to say, great call. You guys wouldn't agree.
We missed that.
How loudly did you say that?
Actually, Bill, I confess to Ken Trevor up here, our spotter. He looked at me and wrote down safety. He said they're going to do it. He called it, and I didn't go with it.
Ken Trevor's a lot smarter than you or me.
Yeah, he is.
But I really blew that one. That's a very wise thing, and it's not uncommon to have done that.
That's why he's still walking the sideline for 31 years of coaching.
Yep, and I'm up here with you.
I didn't mean it that way, Bill.
You didn't.
That's the stat right there. Kentucky's only given up 16 points in the fourth quarter. They're given up 13 tonight.
Now Dean with a free kick, and this is going to come down at 23-yard line. Beach bobbles. And finally out to the 36 with 26 seconds. So they kicked it away from Abney. And Lorenzen with no timeouts and very little production in the second half.
Remember, he hit his first 11 passes.
And they got a handle on it. And so, from their 37, 26 seconds. Sometimes for 3 or 4 plays. Abney and Cook both wide left and right, respectively. Boone inside left. Throw is to Abney. He will try to get out of bounds. And he does with 20 seconds.
South Carolina's in a 3-deep zone. They're dropping 8, rushing 3. They'll let them throw those little outs as long as they want to, which will get them down the field about 40 yards before the clock runs out, and the game will be over. Kentucky's going to have to do something other than that, and it's hard to find what to do.
Lorenzen. Boy, I don't know about this. Abney, 14 seconds. They'll stop the clock to move the chains.
Yeah, they'll stop it and kill it. That's all right. They'll only lose a second here.
You throwing farther downfield than that with only 14 seconds?
Well, you can't throw it farther downfield because they are there, meaning those guys with the white shirts. You have to throw it in the open holes.
Now they'll get the snap and the spike at 12 seconds. But now there's no more than 2 plays left out there. So one of them's got to be downfield.
One of them's got to be a hook and ladder or some sort of thing, a throwback pass, something that should deceive. But the 3 deep safeties now will be way, way back there.
Or you either go to the end zone or you try and cut it in half again. You try and get 15 or 20 yards. You make your first down. You'll kill it. You'll still have time for one more play, more like a 20, 24, 25-yard shot to the end zone.
Those are the 2 choices. You're right.
We have already seen what Boone can do on a jump ball, and somebody jumped before the snap.
That's not going to help.
I'll be darned. Look who's back there as the deep
ball,
safety.
Ball start by the offense. Penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot, followed by second down.
George Goss, number 99. Is that who that is?
Yes, it is.
6'5", 255, the freest of free safeties. He is 45 yards deep. I think that's brilliant.
Standing at the 5 as Lorenzen rolls. And throws to Boone, knocked out with 6 seconds at the 34. 4 seconds.
Now you throw it in the end zone with 3 people, 3 of your biggest guys running down there.
All right, here you go. If you're on the defense, knock it down. That's what your job on the defense in the Hail Mary. Knock it down, bat it down. Don't try and tip it anywhere or bat it anywhere. Knock it into the ground.
Your deepest defender, Garth, is actually in the end zone for this final shot for Lorenzen. And hangs it up. Cook is back there. Cook had hands on it. he had a shot at it. He was trying to tip it down in the area of Boone or Abney, but if he had just caught it, they would have won the game.
You are absolutely right, Dave, and that's one of the things you do on offense. The first man tries to tip it back. You're right. If he tried to catch it, they may have gotten it themselves.
Everybody else jumps too early.
Doss jumped too early, but he did touch the ball. He just tipped it.
Wow. That close to a stunning ending. Let's go to Michelle with Lou Holtz.
All right, two entirely different halves, but before we talk about that final play, and you saw it go up in the air, and there was a receiver there with his hands on it, what were you thinking?
I just have a faith in God. You do the best you can during the week. You let him play. You hope for the best, and that's all you can do. I'm proud of our football team. We hung in. We didn't play the greatest game, but we played a gutty game.
Well, you must have done something in particular at halftime. You were down 10-0 and really turned it around. What was so key in the second half?
Well, I thought we had to come out second half and attack them a little bit more. And we got a little bit more involved, got a little bit more excited, told them at halftime what we had to do, got a commitment from them, and we came out and did it. It's a great win for us on the road.
One of the things you had said coming in is we can't make a living throwing the ball, and yet you pretty much kept yourselves in this game by throwing the ball well in the second half.
Well, it was a team game. I was very disappointed in our kicking game overall, but we'll go back. We'll correct it. I want to give Kentucky credit. They played very well. They're a good football team. This is a hard place to play.
Yeah. 5-2. Congratulations, Lou.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Dave.
Yeah, the surprise is that Lorenzen's outpassed by Jenkins. Who would have figured that? Lorenzen 21 of 35, 180. Jenkins 7 of 15, 199, and the big passing game won it for Carolina. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For summaries and stats, log on to ESPN.com. For Mike Golick, Bill Curry, Michelle Tafoya, our entire ESPN crew from Lexington, Dave Barnett, so long, and we send you back to the studio and Matt Weiner.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. South Carolina now 3-1 in the SEC as Kentucky gets nothing done offensively in the second half. We're leading up to BYU and Air Force at the top of the hour. Garrett Crotenstein